You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
And of course, let me say a special hello to all the WZYE 95.9 FM listeners. Yes, people. It's in the village with the dark triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And of course, we come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. And I actually saw Hochoy Charles in the background, but he kind of disappeared. So, Waverly, Diana, Ben Skinboy.
Who's that? Good afternoon, listeners and viewers, wherever you are. Nice to be with you again. We have lots in the pot today, boy, Anselm. Lots in the village, boy. You put on the kerosene stove or the coal pot?
Coal pot.
All right. Well, we a slow burn today, boy. Slow burn.
Slow burn. Let me bring in Tommy, because Tommy, welcome in.
Good evening, family, and Tom. Good evening, special good evening to you. I see you on the Atlantic brewing.
On the Atlantic? Who, me?
I observed that you that we are being warned about you.
Oh, yes, that's right. Elsa, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I don't want she go messing with Barbados though. Anywhere else, not Barbados. No. Who in the house first already? Lana in the house.
Yeah. Lana say, bless good night, Mr. Love Child.
Oh, Tommy.
Special good night to you, Lana.
Tommy.
Mr. Lover.
But Love Child, he's an outside child. I know all again him title and status for. He's an outside child.
He was made from love. That's what it is.
I don't know why. I know why MP Rudranath put thing in your head for.
Truth is light to me.
I'm not.
But anyway, Anselm, the SCA students, they went out today. I hope no spiking come from that.
I hope so too. How'd that go?
I don't know. I saw one young man dancing joy. He gave you some movements of joy, like he couldn't wait to get it over with.
I could understand that because you worked so hard for this climatic point.
I sent you the video of him dancing. He was so happy, And I see, our thoughts and prayers are with that, the condo that collapsed in Miami. We don't know if any of our Caribbean brothers and sisters, have family there. We know I've seen some Hispanic members. We don't know if, other Caribbean brothers and sisters have family. Our condolences go out to anyone who knows anyone, lost anyone in that building collapse, right? From WZYE 95.9.
Yes.
Mark Daniel is in the house. Let me say welcome to Mark Daniel.
Hey, Mark, what up?
I see 45 is under serious pressure.
Oh. Yeah, his henchman, his confidant. That's what you say, Anselm. Your confidant and your comrade.
Yeah.
You'll see if he's a comrade or a confidant now, right?
Correct is right. Which one is he good? Which one are you going to be, boy?
Yeah, the CFO.
Are you going to be a confidant, a constituent, or a comrade?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the guy holding his water. So the 45 says that he don't think he's going to flip on him. But both of them are old. So,
Good news for Cosby, though.
Yeah, he was released. I don't know what good for Cosby, but is it good for, let's use the word, alleged victims? You want to cover Anselm, right?
At the same time, we really don't know. We really don't know if it was all part of the Me Too madness that was taking place at the time.
I tend to remain silent on that because I too was a victim of that crime. So I try not to pass judgment because then my opinion may be biased. So
Correct.
I stay out of that. I stay out of that conversation.
I respect that. I respect that.
Yeah. And what else is causing a stir? Our friend Lana sent me a video of a guy. But before we get there, on international, there's a volcano in the Philippines by the name of TAAL, and it's going to it's on a level 2 out of a scale of 5. And it's like it's going to erupt. And they said, according to NBC News, last time it erupted was in 1911, and 1,300 people died. So it's all corners of the world. We having this disaster, and then the Delta variant now is labeled a hyper transmissible. You hear the words? Hyper transmit. Now, when you hearing them things, you scared in your head, right, Ansel?
Correct is right.
Hyper transmissible. And sticking on the Philippines president Rodrigo threatens to jail those who refuse to get the COVID-19 vaccine. Yeah.
Whoa, you going straight to jail?
Yep. But then them run a dictatorship kind of. Yeah, I read it all.
Did he not send back the Chinese vaccine?
Is it who?
Did he send back the Chinese vaccine or something like that?
Well, I'll do some more reading and get back to you on that. But I read a lot and I try to extract the juicy tidbits, to bring on a lighter note. Prince Harry and Prince William, they unveiled a bronze statue of their mother surrounded by 3 children, representing universality. So that's a good thing, yeah. But why they put it in bronze though?
That's a good question, man.
Yeah, why they put it in bronze? I guess maybe for longevity in that the outside weather, perhaps.
To show universality.
Oh, you mean the color? Oh, yeah, that might be one way of looking at it. But I was thinking, perhaps from a maintenance point of view, it'd be easy to maintain the statue. Yeah. But anything you have, boss man, you want to mention?
You and me?
Yeah. Who's the boss man?
No, what I'm kind of doing here now, I'm trying to get two videos here. That's why I will hear me kind of quiet.
Silent, yeah, we were talking. Yeah. And then but you look for your videos. In the meantime, I'll continue. Someone sent me a video of a homeless man cooking on the side of the road in St. Augustine.
A homeless man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lana sent it.
But that's not a good thing. You feeding people, right?
No. I don't know if he's feeding people. Let me man have he pot there and he's stirring. I don't know what he cooking, where he cook from. But he cooking. He homeless. He have a pot. And he cooking. So that's a good thing, huh?
Yeah. You get provision and you get food, so you actually cooking. That's not a bad thing.
And I missed somebody sent me a note where they saw Dr. Rowley wearing his mask today. When he was opening, they're opening a new police station in Carnage. Now I wonder what is this. Yeah, I wonder what is the significance of that police station in Carnage, Anslim. You want to speculate? A police station in the middle of a pandemic, people hungry and starving, but you open a brand new police station. What message you trying to send there, Anslim?
Well, isn't that his constituent, though? Isn't that his constituency? Right?
Yeah, I believe so.
I mean, you had to show the people you're doing something.
But Anselm, people hungry. We know that because people are reaching out to us for help. That's what you going into your constituent to open up a new police station?
Well, I mean, I guess, I guess he had to show his consistency that he's doing work, isn't it?
Tommy, what are your thoughts?
He's trying to keep them safe, you know?
He's trying to keep them safe.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Safe, but your belly hungry.
Correct.
Okay. That makes sense. I'm hungry, but I can walk on the road and be safe.
Right.
Okay, that's all right. We ain't probably cool with that. We cool with that too.
He obviously heard you say when you go to Tobago, you don't have to worry about what's coming out at midnight. He wants to make sure when you come to car. He wants to make sure when you come to car.
Oh, he wants to make sure I'm safe when I'm there, but I don't go carnage.
Well, now you can go to carnage.
I don't go carnage.
No, you can go because you're safe.
When I want to see bath, I go Pigeon Point.
Okay, now you have an option.
I don't know. They're doing things backward down there, man. I mean,
you leave Trinidad and go all the way to Tobago?
I don't to get mostly to beaches in Trinidad. That Maracas Road, I don't like personally. That winding dippy dip road and a big pressy, not me. That is give me the creeps. And my stomach be going rolling. Let me go to Tobago. 5 minutes I by the beach, yeah? Good.
But did you ever go up towards Roxborough and go up?
I did an island tour a couple of times. Yeah, Tobago. Yes.
There's some roads.
My stomach whines and hollers too. Yeah. I don't like sitting on the other side of a car and I can look over the precipice. I got to be on the other side. I don't like heights.
All right.
Okay. Honestly, I'm trying to get a video here to play, but I don't know what the hell is going on here, boy.
Yeah, that is just Satan want to come and mess in the pot. Yeah, we got to rebuke him.
All right. We have a lot of people in the chat. Let me just continue in it. Let me welcome some people in the chat. Mark Daniel, Lana says, only SCA students in the exam, but children that dropped out of school didn't do any exam. Sad situation.
Oh boy.
Mark Daniel says, I cool like a cucumber, Miss Diana, thanks.
You're welcome.
Lana said, imagine how it's going to be for parents who have no job, no money to buy books this term for their kids. I'm donating my son's books to any child who needs it. All right, Diana. All right, Lana. Well, that's an excellent idea. Oh my God, them volcano erupting one after the other. They better do bring that law in Trinidad and Tobago because we don't have enough jail space in Trinidad and Tobago.
You see, those little tidbits I bring,
Lana said, no, he cooking for himself.
He cooking for himself?
Yeah. Steve Trini Lopez said, watching from all Florida land. I'm late. Good night to all.
Good night, Mr. Lopez.
Mark Daniel says, I triplets. I have some pimentos, breadfruit, and corn for you.
Oh gosh. We gotta go.
Welcome, Gayatri. Locked on from Virginia. Welcome. Lana said he put on a mask when he was going to cut the ribbon because camera was on him. Pusat Ramnath, welcome. Good night. Lana says, choose one NHS in process in a pandemic or education. Steve Trini Lopez said, continue to jackass the scene. Albert Montano, hi, Ansem, Diana, and the outside child.
Well, hi, Albert.
Okay, Mr. Montano.
Show me I had in the last part. You know what is happening in Trinidad and Tobago, not just jobs, food security.
I as a woman, I put myself as a woman. I'm a woman. Last time I checked, and my child had to go out today to do SCA. Right? The poor child is stressed out over this COVID thing. They're stressed out. Like now we get this tidbit. I gotta go research on these children that fall off the grid or ain't write exam at all. How are you gonna capture them? Would they get a second chance to write, or that's their last chance? What about those that's their last chance? You see what I'm saying? Nobody ain't working nowhere to pay school fees to go anywhere, and you open a police station. You know, the message you're sending here. You know, people are worried about food security, and you're opening a police station in the middle of a.
When they open it.
I don't know. Wait a minute. Someone sent me a video also. Senior citizens again standing up by an eye clinic to go in to get.
Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? No chairs, but you're cutting ribbon, a brand new police station, and you have your senior citizens standing up to go into eye clinic. This poor guy is lamenting that he had to go for a second procedure, and apparently if he don't get the second procedure done, whatever is in his eye, the silicone or whatever, is causing him such pain. And they're telling him to come back all the way in November, and it should have been taken out 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks after the first procedure. So, I mean, you know, his priorities are upside down. You know, I watch the senior citizens stand up, lean in. I mean, you know, I am a senior citizen, and to go and stand up there for long like that in the hot sun. You know, I don't like how and Nelson Mandela says you judge a leader by the way not he treats the best in the society, but the most vulnerable. And the senior citizens are the most vulnerable, and you treating it constantly dropping the ball when it comes to these people. Another guy, he said, where he whatever he did, he committed and he gave his life, his job. You would play the video for years, and now all Trinidad and Tobago can give him is NIB is $100 a day. $100 a day, and the man is clearly disappointed. And then you have Mr. Imbert a week or two ago in an article saying that the NIB scheme only has funds for the next 22 years. You already got people in a fair food insecurity. Now you're making the senior citizens insecure. You know, they're going to start to, you know what I'm saying, right, Anselm? Only 22 more years and $100 a day they get in. What can you get on? I don't know. Something wrong. Something wrong.
Something wrong or something wrong?
Something wrong. Something wrong. Something wrong. Wait, how you treating your people like that?
I think it's more wrong than they're wrong.
Yeah, the Phantom come.
Hey, Phantom.
Welcome, guys.
What is going on? Good night, Gary.
How you doing?
Kind of hectic on my side here, but I'll be listening.
Okay. You know, sad, but you know, I what is going on? Tommy, well, how can we fix it? Tommy, tell me now.
Wow, you're giving me a heavy burden there to carry now. You want me to fix it?
You're a senior citizen.
Of course I am. Of course I am.
And he treating that way, you know. And despite what Anselm PNMites, Balize red drinking juice people is think.
Hey, watch it.
Go ahead, sister, preach.
Watch it.
I work and pay taxes in Trinidad and Tobago here. I entitled to a pension too here. Okay, good.
You have to say he's recovering.
Who's recovering?
Anselm.
He recovering? Hello, you see what color you have on today? He's still wearing. I can't get him out of that red shirt at all.
All right, folks. Let's bring in the MP for Couva South, Rudranath Indarsingh. Mr. Indarsingh, a special welcome to you, sir. I think. Are you there with us, sir?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Welcome to the village. Yeah, we're hearing you loud and clear. Welcome to In the Village with the Dark Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. Of course, we are always happy when you Wait now. What you doing with that Brazil shirt on?
Couva going on. Couva going on.
Couva going on?
Yeah,
Soca
Couva.
Warriors in that? Soca Warriors in that?
No. We get through the World Cup, but we have a qualifying game for World Cup, and we have a new.
Right. Correct is right.
We have a new coach.
But hear this one, you see how you wear that yellow shirt there?
Yeah.
If I wear my Brazil yellow shirt, you know what they will say, right?
What are they going to say?
Oh, quiet. You don't know. You know what they will say.
You tell me what they're going to say.
Gary, what they will say? The besides at UNC.
All Brazilians are UNC.
Wait. Oh, I now understand something that was said. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you get that? Yeah, we're going to win all the roses there. It's a pleasant good night to you, Mr. Indarsingh.
A pleasant good night to you all, and a pleasure to be once again and reaching out to not only you all, but the diaspora who are listening and tuned in. Sorry.
So, Mr. Indarsingh, I want you to listen to something. I was trying to get it here before you come on. I want you to listen to this. Listen to this, right? Yeah. And we would like to get your feedback. So listen to this. This is the Prime Minister on Tobago.
I've come now to the question of the 6 in Tobago. I had met with the elected 12 people in Tobago in January, and I told them about this day when this committee will report to the Parliament and will make recommendations, one of which is to have 15 seats in the Assembly to be elected by the population in Tobago. And I told them then, if we get to that point, if they didn't before find a mechanism to work together in Tobago, some people call it sharing power, if you didn't find a mechanism, by the time we get to this point, there's going to be a mechanism. But of course, it's now in committee. And the question is, whether goes Tobago. In the current arrangement, I've heard it said that the PNM is holding out the power in Tobago, and they want to bully Tobago and rule Tobago without accountability. Nothing is further from the truth. So this bill now being in committee, we will take every action that is required to get Tobago to the polls so that the Tobago people can elect an executive, and that executive, whoever that might be, would be in a position to speak for Tobago in a way that is not clear now, because the people.
Mr. Indarsingh, in addition to what the Prime, what is your opinion on what the Prime Minister just stated?
The Prime Minister continues to be disingenuous, continues to mislead the people of Tobago. If the Prime Minister was concerned about breaking the 6-6 style, there was after they failed to elect a presiding officer in Tobago, they could have gone to the standing orders of the House of Representatives and follow the drawing of lots and so on. And the PNM has drawn lots in Sandy Grande. They have drawn lots in the Sipara Regional Corporation. And if my memory serves me right, politically, I think in the Rio Claro, Mayara Regional Corporation, and so on. So to break deadlock in terms of ties. So it is really hypocritical on the part of the Prime Minister to say that he met with the assemblymen and told the assemblymen that the 6-6 style was hinged upon the Joint Select Committee, if I'm quoting him right. I didn't look at the press conference yesterday, but at the end of the day, the Prime Minister, with all due respect to him, should allow democracy to prevail. And this 6-6 tie, this deadlock should have been broken long time. And the people of Tobago, the THA under the current THA Act and so on, should have been doing their work in relation to governing the affairs of the people of Tobago. Of course, there is a what I would call a lame duck chief secretary at the moment and so on. And they are working, and hopefully that it is in the interest of all the people of Tobago, and not only merely in areas that supported the PNM, because the people voted equally for 6 assemblymen in Tobago also.
So, Mr. Indarsingh, some people are saying that the UNC, I guess without the UNC, this autonomy for Tobago is not going to pass. Some people are asking the question, why hasn't the UNC, put in their suggestions to the bill? What they would like to see differently. For example, if the bill, I'm making this as an example. If the bill has 20 different parts of the bill, and the UNC and the PNM agrees to 10 parts, and there's 10 others, they could then sit down and try to hash out those other 10 points. For example, like we have here in the United States of America, there's an infrastructure bill before the Congress, and both the Democrats and the Republicans have come together, and it looked like that bill is going to pass because of bipartisan agreement between the two parties. Why can, if the UNC wants autonomy for Tobago, why can't they submit, these are the things that we would like to see in the bill? Why can the UNC do that?
Well, the point is that the UNC has always been on record as supporting the process of autonomy and the whole concept of the right of the people of Tobago to engage or pursue this journey of self-determination and autonomy, which was started by A.N.R. Robinson in 1977, 14th of January to be precise, 1977, when he moved the said motion in the parliament of the country, and it was supported by his MP colleague at the time, Dr. Winston Murray. At the end of the day, it is a joint select committee that was supposed to engage the stakeholders, as it relates to those stakeholders that made submissions in terms of the bill that came before the parliament, in fact, which was laid by the Prime Minister when he made a broad policy statement, and it was a bill that was submitted by the Tobago Forum of Parties. And in addition to that, the work of the Joint Select Committee was always one of listening to the submissions of the stakeholders of Tobago and also the stakeholders of, in terms of the people or the stakeholders in Trinidad who made submission. The UNC took the position based on the work of the Joint Select Committee, when very critical stakeholders, and it is in the verbatim minutes or proceedings of the committee, when voices such as One Voice, led by Hochoy Charles, and the PDP, that enjoys 6 seats in the THA through Fally Augustine, and Faith Israel and others, came before the committee. They made it clear that the bills that were before the committee now, or they were asked to comment on, I think they got the bill on the night of the 6th of June at around 8 minutes past 6. 6 minutes past 8, sorry. I'm trying to recollect everything, but I don't have any notes in front of me. I think it was around Thursday night, and they were invited to a meeting at 3 o'clock in the Friday evening to appear before the committee. and it was a Tobago Island Government Bill and a Tobago Constitution Amendment Bill. And in addition to these two stakeholders, as I said, I don't have all my notes in front of me, but they pleaded with the committee to say, we just got this bill, those bills, give us at least 2 to 3 weeks, nothing more than a month, to go back to the people of Tobago and engage in a meaningful consultation. Let them put it before the people going there, every nook and cranny and so on, taking into consideration COVID-19 protocols and so on, and they will come up with their position on the bill. And the bills and the UNC has maintained that the bills must not reflect the will of the UNC. It must reflect the will of the people of Tobago. And there was a long list of persons or entities, I think over 75 plus, would have made written submission to the Joint Select Committee. And from our perspective, myself, Member Dinesh Rambali, the Member of Parliament for Chaguanas West, and Senator Jerlyn John, the Deputy Political Leader of the United National Congress, who served on that committee, we all said to the government, whose view obviously would have prevailed, because there's 3 out of 12 members. We pleaded with them to give to listen to the stakeholders. Let us come up with a report in terms of where the committee work is. Go to the Parliament, get an extension. All we had to do, go to the Parliament, report to the Parliament and say, Madam Speaker, this is the report before you, and based on the continued work, we want an additional month to finish the work, and then we will submit the final report. And all that is permitted under the standing orders of the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago. So there was no need. I mean, I felt pained, I felt deeply hurt when I saw a man like Hochoy Charles. Whether you like Hochoy Charles, you don't like Hochoy Charles, you're indifferent to him. Hochoy Charles has been in the trenches as it relates to the serving the people of Tobago. Fali Augustine is part of a political party, he's a deputy political leader that has 6 seats in the current configuration of the Tobago House of Assembly. And they were pleading, literally begging the chairperson of the committee, Camille Robinson Regis, to give the stakeholders the opportunity to have the deliberations, extensive consultation in a month's time, finish the work, and come back to the committee. And the government was hell-bent that they will not listen to the will of the people of Tobago. So, I mean, democracy is supposed to reflect the will of the people. It is supposed to be for the people, of the people, and by the people. And at the end of the day, I cannot sit there. We took the position that we cannot sit there and not support the call for further consultation, so that these bills, whatever changes, whatever amendments and so on, will reflect the will of the people, and also in terms of how the stakeholders and so on, and people who wanted to comment from Trinidad, because it was not the 2018 bill that was laid in the Parliament of the country and came before the Joint Select Committee, and it was from the Tobago Forum of Parties. So that was the position. The UNC is not blocking anything. The UNC is not being obstructionist. The UNC is merely facilitating further deliberations and consultation to reflect the will of the people of Tobago.
Now, Mr. Indarsingh, with that in mind, let's say the Tobago Voice. We are calling the Tobago Voice the PDP the One Voice with Hochoy Charles, if it's TOP, all the other parties other than the PNM, right? So
Yeah.
these One Voice are the people who have, this is the things they want to see for Tobago. And if the UNC make amendments with respect to what the One Voice is looking for, why couldn't the UNC do that to the bill? Make the
And
amendments.
that is what I am saying
Hmm.
to you. And if you listen to me very carefully, we are saying that let the bills go back and let the PDP, the One Voice, all the entities that want to come together again, whether it's the Tobago Forum of Parties, I have seen in the public domain commentary from I think Nicosia Philip and Ms. Cook. I do not know what is the position of the Tobago arm of the Chamber of Commerce, trade unions in Tobago, and so on. And they propose amendment, and they go to the people, they come up, they get their commentary, they get their approval, and so on. And they want to engage the UNC. I think that Mrs. Prasad Bisesa will certainly seek to engage and listen. But the UNC can come up with amendments. The UNC cannot do the work of the government. If the government really wants to listen to the people of Tobago, they brave this policy, they laid the bill, they stripped the bill into two, into a Tobago Island government bill and a constitutional amendment bill. And so I have not even read all the, they have gotten the legislation now to take away the 3/5 and the 3/4 majority. So it will no longer be a bill that has the checks and balances of the Constitution from the point of view of the Tobago Constitution bill. I think it will now need a simple majority and so on. And this is what we are saying. If the government, this is government's policy, this is the work of the government. And if the government wants to be magnanimous, they must wait, they must engage, they must call in the parties and say, we are prepared to listen, we are prepared to give you the time, go back to the people, consult, come up with your amendments, and the government will be prepared to be display leadership and say, we are prepared to encompass your amendments.
So therefore, Mr. Indarsingh, you are saying that if that happens, the UNC will then vote for something like that.
The UNC, once we get the blessings and the people, the stakeholders and so on, say, this is what we want, and we have signed off, and we will want you to support it and so on, I am sure that we will study what they present us, and once it's reflective of the will, we will move forward.
So, Mr. Indarsingh,
Prime Minister Rowley has a responsibility to show if he's really a true leader on behalf of the people of Tobago and Trinidad.
And how can you do that?
He cannot be dismissive of the people of Tobago. Well, yesterday, one day in the Parliament, when he hijacked the debate, right? Well, I do not know if you have a copy of or ever perused the standing order of the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago. There is a standing order called 46-2, which says that the mover of a motion that is critical of the government and so on must wind up the debate. Or the person who moved this motion was the leader of government business, Camille Robinson Regis. At no point in time did she exercise her right to wind up the debate. And let us go back to the beginning. When the report was laid and before the debate began, her responsibility as the leader of government business in the House of Representatives, she moved a motion because she told Mr. David Lee, the Member of Parliament for Pointe-à-Pierre, that she wanted to waive the standing orders so that the mover of the motion could be allowed a speaking time to the maximum of 2 hours. The first responder from the opposition's point of view will have equal time. And then the government will have 2 speakers of 90 minutes. The opposition will be allowed not 2, but one responder of 90 minutes. Sorry. And then 2 speakers from the government for 1 hour, 2 from the opposition for 1 hour, and all other speakers for 20 minutes, whatever configuration. And there will be an hour for the person winding up the motion. I want to reiterate that. 1 hour for the person winding up the motion with absolutely no extension of speaking time. The chief whip, when that was proposed to him via email, he said, and he indicated to her, we cannot have an agreement with that. Let us refer to the standing orders in terms of, because since the pandemic, we have reconfigured the speaking time, and let us revert to where the mover will have 45 minutes and all other speakers and so on will have 30 minutes and what is enshrined in the standing order. The government said no. So the government moved the motion. With their majority, they prevailed. But as the debate continued, I was acting as the chief whip at that point in time on the government's bench, on the opposition bench, sorry. And to my amazement, the Prime Minister, so rightfully within his purview, they decided their strategy was that he will wind up the debate. After an hour, which is under the rules that was established by their motion, to my amazement and surprise, 𝗪𝗪𝘀𝗀𝗽𝗪 got up, stood up, and moved a motion to extend the Prime Minister's speaking time by an hour again. And at that point in time, I had to challenge and inquire or seek clarification from the Speaker of the House of Representatives as it relates to, they moved their motion, the speaking time prevail now. And on what basis was the leader of government business moving or attempting to move a motion that would have extended the Prime Minister's speaking time by an additional hour? And to my amazement, she indicated that she had ceded her speaking time to the Prime Minister for 1 hour. She moved the motion. If she wanted, she could have allowed the Prime Minister to speak during the debate for his hour and then come as the mover of the motion and wind up the motion as the mover, which is allowed under the standing order. I have perused the standing orders over and over and over and over. There is no standing order which facilitates any speaker on either side of the Parliament to cede your speaking time to any other speaker. So the leader of government business is in violation. It clearly was in breach of the standing orders of the Parliament of the country. And for the Prime Minister, who is a very experienced politician, who has been in the House of Representatives, I think he also served as a senator before he came into the House of Representatives. So the Prime Minister is a very seasoned politician, a man who should be very well read in terms of upholding the standing orders in the Parliament and the dignity of the Parliament and respect. If you want to respect the Parliament, you have to respect the standing orders of the Parliament. And the Prime Minister and the leader of government business, 𝗪𝗪𝘀𝗀𝗽𝗪, assaulted, disrespected the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago and assaulted the democracy of the country. They breached the standing order in all forms and fashion, and that is the state of play.
Mr. Indarsingh, I want you to quickly listen to what the Prime Minister had to say with respect to hijacking, as was put, with respect to hijacking of the debate. Let's listen to the Prime Minister. Hold a minute. Here we go. Give me 1 minute here. Yeah.
I plead not guilty. I hijacked no debate.
The latest from the Prime Minister in the back and forth with the opposition. Now, this all stems from the parliamentary debate of the Tobago Self-Government Bill. At a news conference on Wednesday, Prime Minister Rowley went down a list of claims by the opposition, giving responses. He said the opposition should not be allowed to accuse him or the Speaker of the House of wrongdoing, with Dr. Rowley being allowed to wind up the debate.
That was done by the Speaker at the request of the member for Rudranath, who asked that my time be extended, and the Speaker didn't say yes or no, you know. The Speaker put the motion to the floor and it was voted upon.
This as the opposition intends to file a motion of no confidence in the Speaker, claiming breaches of Parliament's standing orders.
You put a motion to the floor and you ask the floor to waive the standing orders. Once a motion goes to the floor, it is the majority that carries. So it follows that if the government's majority votes for it, the minority will have its say, but the government will have its way.
The opposition also accused the government of gutting the proposed legislation. The Prime Minister dismissed this also.
The opposition leader goes on to spread misinformation, saying that the brand new bill are all amendments from no consultation. That is not true. And their strategy is to feed dissent in Tobago, to create division between Trinidad and Tobago by telling them something like that.
So what happens next with the Tobago bills, as the Parliament will soon go into recess?
The bills are in committee, and they will remain in committee, alive. And we come back here in September, and those bills can die when the Parliament dissolves at the end of the year, or we can ask that they be extended into the next term.
Mr. Indarsingh. Yeah. Go ahead, Gary. Yeah, Gary. Mr. Indarsingh, you heard the Prime Minister. What is your opinion on what he stated?
Well, the Prime Minister, I mean, I am not bound by any standing orders when I'm speaking to you. All I could conclude is the Prime Minister is a pathological liar. Mm-hmm. Prime Minister is a pathological liar, and the Prime Minister cannot continue to behave in this particular manner. If you disrespect the standing orders of the Parliament, I do not have a copy in front of me, but if you could get a copy or go online, there is nothing, and you read the entire standing orders of the Parliament of this country, there is nothing like ceding time. Camille Robinson-Regis has no decency when she said that she ceded her time to the Prime Minister under what standing order. And when I challenged the Speaker, or I sought clarification, it was simply to ask the Speaker, Madam Speaker, could you guide me as to what standing orders did the leader of government business use or invoke to cede her time to the Prime Minister? That is all the clarification I was seeking. And of course, I displayed the greatest sense of respect to the chair, even though we had a difference of opinion. She asked me to apologize, and I upheld the dignity of the House by apologizing to her. But I wanted the clarification for the benefit of not only the government's bench, not the government bench, but the opposition bench, the government's bench, and all those who were looking on at the democracy and the proceedings of our parliament. That is all I was doing.
So quickly,
And
we
up
have
till now, no one can tell myself where or what standing orders was used to cede the speaking time and also to extend the Prime Minister's speaking time by 1 hour.
No, Mr. Indarsingh.
Euro football going on right now, European Championship, Euro Championship, Couva going on in South America. You have established rules on how much is a half. A half is 45 minutes and 45. The second half is 45. Extra time is 15-15. In the middle of the game, when extra time finishes, you can't say what to the period of extra time.
Yes, it's a great analogy.
No,
yeah.
I just want to remind you that Watson Duke was here not too long ago, and he said that there was no consultation with them, right? In reference to any decision with Tobago. And the and the Prime Minister is trying to give the inclination that that took place. Now, you hear what Mr. Indarsingh was saying, that they were trying to consult with the people of Tobago, which I think was what I was calling for, and which I think is right, that consult the people of Tobago, involve them in the decision making, because it's about them. Why are we trying to exclude them? Why are we trying to just kind of run this through?
Well, Gary,
and we must all understand now, even what took place in terms of where we are, even during the Joint Select Committee. They said that they had an online survey of 195 participants, and Tobago has 60,000 people. Trinidad has probably 1.2, it could be a little more. We have a lot of migrants and so on in the country, and the population probably, give and take, has grown. So you can imagine, and the Prime Minister, I know these days he's having some challenges with his maths and so on, but the Prime Minister said that 77% of the people of Trinidad support Tobago's quest for self-government. 195 people, and you know what he uses his data? An online survey of 195 people's participation. And in addition to that, when there was 2 days of some consultations, which was done virtually, we had some members of the committee in one of the rooms in Parliament, and others were the Victor Bruce Financial Complex in Scarborough, Tobago. These consultations were done virtually in a pandemic period, and I mean both in Trinidad and in Tobago. I do not know what is the level of broadband connectivity in Tobago, even in Trinidad, and how it impacted upon people in terms of their willingness to be involved in the process. Because in the middle of the pandemic, people frightened if they get COVID, if they die, or they have to go into, based on being tested positive, you have to go into quarantine. So many challenges. Or if you, God forbid, you have to go into hospital, then you could end up in HD or ICU. And there's a emotional, psychological pain and trauma. I don't know how many people really knew about wanting to get involved, venture out to get copies of the bills and so on. And this is why we are saying, or we said to them, well, probably I'll allow the statistics to die down too. And when we achieve herd immunity, well, I don't want to go into the make it a totally political program here this evening, where I could go off into a tangent about vaccination, the bungling, the lack of acquisition, procurement, and so on, and where we are today in achieving herd immunity. And we were saying that when the numbers dive down and so on, and probably when we achieve herd immunity, why not the committee really go across the Tobago and go down into communities in Tobago and engage in meaningful consultation? We still have a culture, whether we like it or not, or if you mind the area and you're going to a community center or you're going to a secondary school and so on, and people will turn up and make their voices heard.
Well, Mr. Indarsingh, we want you to stay with us for a little bit. We also have another host. Right after you, we actually have Hochoy Charles from Tobago joining us. So you want to stay with us for a few minutes. We're going to go for a quick station identification and we'll be right back. Of course, folks, it's in the village with the Dark Triplets and WZYE 95.9 FM. We have with us the MP for Couva South, Mr. Rudranath Indarsingh. I got that right? Did I get that right?
Yes, Rudranath Indarsingh, but a lot of people call me Rudy in Trinidad, and Tobago, but Rudranath Indarsingh is the name that you will find on the birth paper, the driver's permit, the passport, and so on.
Thank you so much. So, guys, let's go for a quick station identification, and we'll be right back after this message with the MP for Couva South, Rudranath Indarsingh. We'll be right
You're
back.
listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
So, Mr. Indarsingh, there's a question from Lana. Lana says, can Tobago get self-governance without the opposition vote? Can the PNM government give Tobago self-governance without the vote of the opposition?
The present status is that they have two bills which they have gutted, and if they want to, based on what they have, the bills that they are in the House with at the moment, that is in committee stage, and this is again the playing on the minds of the people, because if you take out the 3/5 and the 3/4 majority, based on what they have presented in the Parliament, it can be passed with a simple majority. That is their model of self-governance or governance and autonomy for Tobago. So they are really playing smart with foolishness again. But in terms of what the will of the people wanted via the bill of 2016 that came now with the one that was laid in 2018 through the forum of political party, certainly the government is really deceiving the people of Tobago. It is as simple as that.
Mark Daniel from Tobago says, this thing is becoming real stale now. What is so hard in just engaging the people here, finding out what we want and granting us just that? I personally am feeling like something is mine, but I guess we're not getting it.
As I said, and with all due respect to Mr. Daniel, the government has to display leadership and come to the people of Tobago. That is what needs to be done, and get the people. You see, I must point out, when we said that there was the need for the consultation, when the committee was having the last meeting, and it is on record. So I am talking based on what is on record, what is on the verbatim minutes, and Mr. Charles can bear me out on this. When you engage him, I asked the committee, and I indicated to the committee members that we must not only invite the political leaders of One Voice and the PDP and the PNM I'm trying to recollect the final name of the other entity. I think it was Unity of the People. And forgive me if as I said, I don't have any notes in front of me.
That's okay.
The point I was made that everyone, whether it is organization, individual, who's made submissions from Tobago, should have been invited, not only the leaders of the political parties. There was an entity called CivilNet. There was an entity called, I think Miss Cook was a member of this association and so on. There were individuals, there were other organizations. The point is, why only the leaders of the political parties? Why not the rest of civil society? Why not the individuals? Why not go back into the communities of Tobago and get the feedback of the people? And as I said also, a number of entities, the central bank, the service commission, the Ministry of Finance, all these entities and so on, in addition to made submission from Trinidad on the bills. We even engage consultants and so on for experts in Queen's Council, Mr. Delano, but even Ambassador Thompson, the Soul Rest and Eternal Peace, who gave us advice on the boundaries of the nautical miles in terms of where legislative or administrative authority and so on should be.
Mr. Indarsingh,
yes.
This is Diana. How are you doing, sir?
Good. How are you?
Okay, I'm fine, thank you. I have a question for you. May sound silly or out of the topic, but I was just thinking: is it permissible constitutionally to engage the populace of Trinidad to vote on the autonomy bill for Tobago?
No, not from a constitution point of view. We don't. The constitution doesn't facilitate referendum,
and that cannot be changed.
Well, you're going into a realm of constitutional reform now.
Well, because in my opinion, if you ask, I think a lot of Trinidadians, would let them have the running of, give them internal self-government. I think a lot of Trinidad, because Mr. Watson Duke said that about 375,000 workers in Trinidad are of Tobago origin. So my thinking is, if it went to the polls, those 375,000 people is a strong voting arm, Well,
I don't have all that statistics in front of me, but certainly, but all the stakeholders so far have indicated that, and in terms of the stakeholder from Tobago, that they are committed to the unitary state of Trinidad and Tobago.
I think the PNM has frustrated the people of Tobago into a position that they want to not be bothered, or associated, even though they have the love and connection. But I think the mistreatment is really what forcing this kind of a separation talk. We are really a bonded people most of the time, So I think that's what this is really. If you give them the self-governance.
As I said, it's the arrogance and the talking down and so that is playing out here. That is all. A bill that was laid in 2018 has been split into two bills. Now, when you cannot get the support based on the fact that the bill doesn't reflect the will of the people and the submissions of the people of Tobago, then you come back with further optics on the morning now, and you've got the bill of the constitutional requirements and so on, and then you leave it. Well, it's a simple majority bill now. Vote the bill into the parliamentary process based on your majority.
What I would like to suggest is that this discussion that we do a shift, that the parliamentarians have a one-day parliament, a week parliament meeting in Tobago itself, so that this discussion is being taking place in Tobago instead of the Red House in Port of Spain, to kind of make it more engaging, where the people feel like they are part of the decision making and they can, get a better chance to voice their opinions.
Well, I want to tell you, the Parliament is convened based on the government's business, and it is the leader of government business that has to inform the Speaker, and under the seal or the authority of the Speaker, that Parliament is convened. The opposition cannot convene the Parliament of the country.
So, Mr. Indarsingh, we want to thank you so very kindly. Whenever you are called upon, you joined us. You're very kind, and we have a discussion. But before we go, we just always ask this quick question, because we have, Hochoy Charles waiting for us. I know that you are actually in, the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago, but in your quiet moment right here, if you had to send a message to the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, what would be that message you give to the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago?
That message I will send to the Prime Minister. Prime Minister Keith Rowley, you have been in the Parliament of this country for 30 plus years. You are now the leader of the country, going into completing your 6th year of government. Display a sense of leadership by listening not only to the people of Tobago in this particular issue, but also listen to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and ensure that you lead with a sense of responsibility to all sectors of the population, and ensure that you not only engage the opposition, but you engage all stakeholders in Trinidad and Tobago, if we want to get Trinidad and Tobago out of this quagmire that we are in, this morass that we are in, based on where we are from an economic point of view, and how we are continuing to deteriorate in terms of our standing from a regional and international point of view also.
Mr. Indarsingh, we want to thank you so very kindly for joining us, and we want you to enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. You all have a pleasant night, and continue the discussion, not only on this particular issue, but all other issues that are impacting upon Trinidad and Tobago, and even from a regional point of view, because we have our sisters and brothers from CARICOM throughout the diaspora in New Jersey and so on, and in the United States of America, and from a global point of view. And I think that I remain at your disposal when I have the time to engage whatever questions that you may have to put before me on whatever issue. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant night.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you. We
have a good evening,
sir. Very much.
Thank you. So there you have it, folks. We have MP Rudranath Indarsingh joining us. Now let's quickly go to the man from Tobago, one and only Mr. Hochoy Charles. Mr. Hochoy Charles, welcome, sir.
I hope my mic, is you hearing me at all?
Yeah, we're hearing you loud and clear, man.
Well, very good. I wasn't able to test my microphone before.
That's okay.
So I'm very happy that you're hearing me. Good night. Good evening. And good evening to all those who are with you, your co-host or whatever, and all those who are participating in this program. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening, sir.
But I don't call him Mr. Hochoy Charles, it's a kind of respect, it's a respect thing, right? But I was going to go down to this, Mr. Charles. You know my father from Roxborough, right? You know my father, right?
God.
Yes, I know him.
I know my father name is Shaq. Every time somebody from Tobago come on the program, I had to tell them what my father from Roxborough, Tobago, but because part of me works for Tobago, so part of me in Tobago. You understand?
I'm hearing you.
So I want to see good things for Tobago. That's what I want to see. You understand?
But, and I'm the real Tobago girl.
Right. That is Diana. So also we have it as Diana. The dog is Diana and someone Gary, and we have another young man by the name of Tony. The ladies in the chat call him the love child, and we call him the outside child. So
yes, but we are all brothers and sisters, you know.
Of course.
That's right.
You know,
thank you, Mr. Charles.
but Mr. Charles, you was the first secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly, right? And you know, I have listened to you from way back when to even to now, and the things you are putting on the table. Why is it that the PNM doesn't understand the things that you are trying to bring for the people of Tobago? What is it? What is it missing in that they don't understand?
You are asking me really a question that you should ask the Prime Minister, you know, and ask the PNM that question, what it is and why it is that they are. But I'm sure that in the course of our discourse tonight, something is going to come out. The truth is going to come out. We have to understand where we are, what brought us here, and what Tobago is looking for. I listened to the latter part of Brother Indarsingh's contribution to your program tonight. And I don't think that everyone in Trinidad understand what this issue is all about and what is required to be done. And let me just say this right here before I deeply answer your question. The matter we are dealing with is internal self-government for Tobago. We are not talking about a federation or an independence of Tobago. We are talking about Tobago being allowed to determine how we as a people we are governed. That's an issue that has been settled by international law. I want to repeat that very slowly, even to my brother Indarsingh. When I heard him say a little while ago, not quarreling, that they need to have a conversation with Trinidad too. Let me put this to rest. Internal self-government is not a matter for Trinidad, the internal self-government of Tobago. That's a matter that has been settled by international law. The United Nations Charter says, and in fact, all the human rights conventions and so on, would have placed this particular matter of self-determination of a people high up on the priority, on the agenda for various reasons. Because the United Nations explain why they have made it a question not for negotiation between any people or any two set of group and so on. They made it so for one reason, that they said, and it is all there, I'm sure you have access to it and you can access to it if you have not done so before, that one matter of preventing people or obstructing people or standing in the way, my God, like it got off your boy.
No, your camera just still setting. It turned. I think it.
No. I'm completely blank.
Okay, I'm still seeing you.
Yeah, you might be, but I am not getting anything. But I'll come back on. Right.
Okay, here we go.
Right. Yeah, I have a little difficulty. We have some internet problem here. But anyhow,
I know it go.
I was making this point that the United Nations said this one single issue, that one single issue of denying people the right to self-determination is one that would have caused most of the wars in the world. And it is a threat to world peace. As a result, they have not left that up to any individual country. the whole United Nations come together and said, hey, we are going to make this thing international law so that no one should violate it. If you violate that, then we can take you before the commission, the Human Rights Commission. There's a Human Rights Commission that is set up to look at these matters all over the world. You can check it out and so on. So the question of internal self-government for Tobago is not a negotiable matter. If it was independence and we negotiate, very quickly, let me say this again to you. Trinidad, and I will just add Tobago because we are a nation. Trinidad, and I say and Tobago, would have been in a colonial relationship with the United Kingdom, with Great Britain. They wanted to have their internal self-government to manage the business of Trinidad. Let me leave Tobago out for the time being. They wanted that. In 1959, November, they went to Great Britain to say, hey, we need our internal self-government. Discussions started in Britain in November of 1959. And then the Secretary of State for the Colonies, who was chairing that exercise, it is the government and the opposition from Trinidad that went. And that is the convention in the world that when you want your self-government or whatever it may be, your internal self-government, that the country must come. And they recognize country to be government and opposition. That's how it is. But if you don't have government and opposition, because there are some countries in the world that don't have any system yet, they are really strictly colonial countries and so on, they consider the political parties in that country. If all of them come together and say they want it, they consider the country comes. So in 1959, November, Trinidad, government and opposition went. The discussion continued in Trinidad in June of 1961. June of 1960, the following year. And the agreement was reached with Britain, not negotiation, that he was chairing the meeting to make sure that there was consensus or agreement on what they were requesting from Great Britain between the opposition and the government. And the agreement of Trinidad and Tobago government and opposition, the Secretary of State for the Colonies took it to the United Kingdom Parliament because that was the only place that the legislation could have been passed in order to grant Trinidad its internal self-government. The legislation is there. You have copies. You can go on the website of the Trinidad and pull it down. I have copies right here. There was no change. All the British Parliament, and the British Parliament had government and opposition, Labour, Conservative, Liberal. One question was asked in the Parliament. Is this the decision of Trinidad? The answer was yes. The legislation was passed because Great Britain knew that's not a negotiable matter at all. By 1961, the legislation was passed. Trinidad was given, and they call it Trinidad and Tobago, is full internal self-government. In 6 months after they got their full internal self-government, they went and negotiated their independence. Because when you're discussing independence, you have to negotiate. You don't negotiate internal self-government. And Trinidad negotiated their independence. And before 6 months, by 1962 August, we received our independence. Tobago now, finally, is in that colonial relationship with Trinidad. Tobago is now in the position where Trinidad was in relation to Great Britain. You getting me?
Yeah.
We are now in that position. And we are saying to Trinidad, we are ready now to deal with our social, economic, and whatever issue, and financial issues here, and cultural issues. That's not a negotiable matter. We sat down, we designed a document, and we send it because we don't have a parliament in Tobago to pass it. And we send it down because it has to go to the cabinet. The cabinet will take it to parliament. and the PNM is in government. And may I just backtrack 1 second to say to you that when we were discussing that document, we were consulting the whole of Tobago. When we were doing that, it was the PP in government. Mrs. 𝗪𝗪𝘁𝘀𝗽𝗽 was the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. It was completed. The exercise was completed when Dr. Rowley took over. So it means then that the document would have gone to this cabinet under Dr. Rowley. But had he not won the election from the PP, that document would have gone to the 𝗪𝗪𝘁𝘀𝗽𝗍 government. So this is why the PNM is carrying the document. So when you are hearing now, my brother, that the PNM prepare something and carry it to the parliament and other people opposing it, that is not so. They prepared nothing. They did not initiate anything and carry it in the parliament. We, the Forum of Political Parties here in Tobago, prepared that document and sent it down. So we know what we have asked for, and they would have messed up the document and come back with a new thing to discuss it with us. And then we say, okay, fine, you bring this new thing. I'm ready to bring it down quickly. You bring this new thing to us. You bring it today. In fact, the document was sent to us 8 o'clock on Corpus Christi night. For us to meet with them 4 o'clock on the Friday, the 4th of this month. And they came and we said, okay, make your presentation. They did their presentation, the Joint Select Committee. When they were finished, we said, all right, good. Now that we know what you have done with our document that we sent to you, this is not reflecting what we send down to you. We need some time to look at it properly, because you bring a document, the Attorney General took almost an hour and a half or 2 hours to present what they would have done with our document. And you call that the amendment to the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago, which is the Constitution Amendment Bill. And they said, we prepared a second bill with that. Because everything you send down, we couldn't put it in the Constitution. And then Senator De Freitas took another hour and a half or 2 to present the other bill to us. And then when they were through, we said, hey, we need minimum 2 weeks to look at what you would have done with what we sent to you. And then we can meet back and discuss this issue. They have not done so. They went and laid the document in Parliament. So when the opposition in the Parliament said, it is not we, the opposition, that are asking for any more time, that is the truth. It's not they. They said it's the people of Tobago that ask, except the PNM. We, all the other people who were there, all the 3 parties that were there, only the PNM did not say anything about more time. We asked for 2 weeks. And the opposition is only saying that, hello, the people of Tobago asked for 2 weeks. Let us give them the 2 weeks. We're going to meet. And let me just say this to you. Nobody knows. We may have agreed with what they have. I'm not sure. But there's a refusal to meet. And you carry this in the Parliament. And I want to say this to give you back your chance to ask me all the questions you want to ask. So I have listened. We listened to it. And the PNM was saying, and this is quite true, I have gone through this for 44 years. 1977 to now, 44 years. I'm one of the architects of the first one, the first bill in 1980. I have been one of the architects with Mr. Robinson in 1996 document. And I'm now the architect of the one, the real architect of the one, not Mr. London, of the one that went down in 2016 to Trinidad. So if you ask anybody about what the journey is, I could tell you, nobody else is alive that can take you. So no. You now are saying to the people, like the PNM, that, hello, we need to have 31 votes to pass this thing. We only have 22. We need to have at least 9 votes from the opposition to pass it. Tell me something. If you are interested in passing this thing, the first thing you will do is to ask the opposition, because you know it can't pass without their support. You now go to the Parliament to do that. And instead of having a conversation with them, You start cussing them from the beginning. So your intention was never to pass it.
Trickery. It's trickery.
Total trickery.
I call it trickery.
In fact, my brother, 2 weeks before, I put a spanner in the works. The fellas in Tobago say, "Oh God, Hochoy, you put what you call a monkey wrench." You know the story in Trinidad, you know a monkey wrench. Monkey wrench in the work. Because the Prime Minister came here and he was on the radio, the television station in Tobago, which is Channel 5. And then he went the following morning on Tambourine Radio. And that is what he was telling. And I went because I was called by the television station the following week only. And I asked, and I said, I want to tell the Prime Minister that I journey with this thing here. Don't let try what I see him trying with the people at Tobago. Telling us that you are 22 seats. You want opposition support, and you're not so sure you're going to get it. Don't try where I see you want to come in. Because you want this thing to fail and to come to tell we, to play your politics, to tell we that you carry the thing for Tobago and the opposition oppose it. I said, don't try that.
It's trickery at its fullest.
I'm not asking you, that is what he tried. So I exposed that. We exposed that in Tobago. And it's the same thing he was trying in Parliament. And this is why I mentioned to you, my brothers and sisters, that if you know that you want your sister by your side support to give you something that you are trying to negotiate with somebody or trying to get with somebody, you ain't starting off cussing your sister. The moment you start to cuss, you really don't want that thing to be done at all. And that is what the Prime Minister would have been doing.
I want to say this. I want to say this publicly. The PNM has no interest in giving Tobago self-governance, and here's why I say that. And this is my own opinion here now. I think when the PNM looks at those 2 seats that they have, let me ask you the question though. If Tobago gets self-governance, what happens to those 2 seats in Parliament for Tobago West and I think Tobago East? What happens to those 2 seats?
Very quickly. Remember, we still remain Trinidad and Tobago as a nation. And internal self-government, hear this well, internal self-government only will be given to Tobago. We are only asking for those things that are life and death matter. Economic, social, and cultural. We want to be responsible for that. We water, we electricity, we road, we education, and those things. Internal self-government does not touch citizenship. It does not touch things like your central banking for Trinidad and Tobago. It does not touch things like immigration. It doesn't touch the judiciary. Those are matters that are common to both the island of Tobago and Trinidad in the sovereign democratic state of Trinidad and Tobago. You have to ask them, well, why is it that you're not allowing the people to do that? They're not breaking up the nation. We are strengthening the nation because Tobago, had that been done in 96, and I'm going to come to that if you have the time.
Yeah, we have time, man.
That make us end up with Act number 40 of 1996. So what you're saying there is quite true. And I'm not giving you impression or opinion. I'm telling you fact because I have the evidence in writing. And I was there. So those are the things we are asking for. We're not breaking up the. We're not. Listen to this. We're not even talking. We can't talk about foreign affairs. We're not talking about defense at Trinidad and Tobago. We're not talking about national police. That's still going to be on the government of Trinidad and Tobago. That will still be there. And I'm sure you're going to ask, but why is that? You're allowing the people to determine where they build the road, where they put the school, how they deal with this. Let me say this to you. One project in Tobago, we not lost the government. Okay. One project in Tobago, the water project in Bloody Bay, I'm sure you hear your brother may have spoken about it sometime, would have produced. We never know about COVID. We didn't know about that. COVID just came in 2 years ago. We were.
Oh boy. So we just lost him, folks.
You're getting some food for thought there,
oh
boy.
God, but we gain knowledge too bad.
Yeah,
oh God,
history.
Okay.
Are you talking about notes I'm taking? Ooh.
History, boy. You had to come back. You had to come back, here, man. You kick out internet.
You have to circulate this message. And we want to encourage, by the time you're waiting on him, I want to encourage the people of Tobago to come on this station and let their voice be heard.
Yep.
I want your voice. I am extending
invitation.
Let your voice be heard.
But listen now, boy. Listen now. You see all the PNM wicked and evil, boy? Eh? Now, why are you laughing?
Hey, but it's 44 years now, since 44 years.
Tommy, you're so right. Tommy, you take the words out of my mouth. Here is a black, intelligent man, a Tobagonian, right? And the PNM the PNM under this regime.
Voice.
This regime under the puppet master. This regime under the puppet master wants to stifle an intelligent black man like Hochoy Charles. Hochoy Charles is a man about Tobago. He's for Tobago. He may not be with the PDP, or he may not be with the PNM, or he may be with One Voice Party, whatever it is. The man is talking about Tobago. But you wicked at evil PNM under this. I'm talking about this government, This one, This one under the puppet master. You wicked at evil government under the puppet master. You know, he's a puppet master because he pulling strings. Puppet, you pull strings here. You ever see that thing Lexo TV? You ever see Lexo TV with Santana and Narayan and them? Right?
No, but I know the song, pull my string, do and I pull my, I'm your puppet. I know that song.
Yeah, go ahead, Tommy.
No, but what I was saying is 44 years since this consultation started, or the idea started. You tell me that in 44 years that they didn't get it right yet, and the only reason why they didn't get it right is because it probably keep morphing, it keep changing as time goes along.
Tommy,
and that's the same thing Ansel be saying about Chumacak Laventil and disenfranchising the
Diana, keep talking.
This is not the first thing that they did this, This is not the first issue that they did this with, They consistently playing game and giving you last minute notification and and recirculating things and going back and forth.
Let me see if I get back with church. Diana, what you was just saying there, Diana, it's like Tobago is Lavanti cousin.
Yep. And the people,
child.
Yep. Just dipping their finger in that ink to live in the same mess, same nonsense over and over.
Yeah, they want to keep them subservient.
What I try to tell them is those areas in most countries, is areas, the prime real estate areas.
But we have a call. How long this phone ring? Let me try and take this call here. Hold on. Hello, caller. You're on WZYE 95.9 FM. Good night. Yes.
Put on speaker.
I can't put him on speaker. He's actually on the phone. Yes, caller. Go ahead. Yeah, the man is an icon. Okay. I'm Anselm. We have Diana, Gary, and thing, but they're not hearing you. But you just go ahead. You go ahead with your contribution. Correct. I hear you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Philip Edward Alexander. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Correct. Mm. 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 Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No,
Mm.
the capital mic like that.
Mm. Could you say that again? Could you say that again? Could you repeat that?
I was going to put the mic by the speaker.
No. We had a game that respect. But that's what he is. No, don't worry about what you don't give. We had a game that respect. Yeah. We had a game that respect. Mm. 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 Correct. Mm-hmm. Mm. Right. Mm. Kola, there is a good point there, right? And I want you to listen. No, right. I wanted to listen to the answers off here. All right. But listen, we appreciate you very kindly, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend and continue to listen to us, of course. And thank you so very kindly. All right, man. Thank you so much. Yeah. Our family in Roxborough, man. Our family in Roxborough.
And
Yeah.
from the time Dr. Raleigh take office.
Hold a minute, Gary. Hold a minute. Gary, hold 1 minute. Hold 1 minute. Go ahead, caller. All right. Wonderful. Hmm. 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 Correct is right. Hmm. Yeah, you're correct. You're correct, man. You're correct. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, man. Hmm. 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 Yeah. Mm. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, man. All right, man. All right. All right, lock and load, boy. All right, lock and load. All right, man. So yeah, there you have it, folks. You know, all here, hey, Diana Gary thing. All you know, if it's one thing, I ain't gonna lie, that phone must ring. That phone must ring plenty times. All you know, we just have discussions here in the village, and we have discussions with people in the chat and thing. And I just noticed the phone ringing, so I said we pick it up. So folks, I'm gonna try to get back, Diana. I want you to kind of continue. Let me see if I can get back with Hochoy Charles on this thing here, because let me see. Hold
as
on,
I was
please.
saying, from the time this Dr. Rowley administration took office, water started cut off, lights started cut off, telephones started to get think people was having trouble. You can't get proper cell service. I mean, it was just chaos upon chaos. You know what I mean? So I mean, and they just kind of manipulate the people and things. You know, there was bullying upon bullying, man. You know, I mean, the people has been really suppressed.
Yeah,
Diana?
Yeah, I agree with you. The way, they said he hijacked the parliament. I was trying to read the standing orders there, but I finally came upon the section where you have to read it carefully, the language in which it's worded. You have to read it quite a few times to understand. But if this thing was established all those years ago, why wasn't it not put in place? Let them have their self-government, and
why we playing games? Why we playing games?
They're
but
not.
I mean, you see who's getting exposed now, right? You see who's
Yeah,
getting exposed.
They're not asking for a cessation of the country. They're asking for separate waters and a separate army and a separate police. They just want internal self-government, which is what Trinidad went to England for all those years ago. So why can't Trinidad do the same thing for Tobago?
Tobago, why it is you have to fly into Trinidad to go to Tobago? I have a young student right now that's going to be on a repatriation flight coming up. She have to fly into Trinidad and then go to Tobago, right? I mean, but on a general basis, you have to fly into Trinidad. A.N.R. Robinson expanded that airport, that the bigger jets can land there. That was the purpose of expanding that airport. Why it is that goods have to go to Trinidad in order to get to Tobago? This is more costly and more time consuming and more headaches and heartaches, and we don't need it on either side. So why are you frustrating the people?
Yeah, but Gary, Diana, and Tommy, let me ask a question. How come the media in Trinidad don't have Hochoy Charles on their program?
You picked my brain.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Let me hear.
How come? What it is about that man, and you can't have him on your program for him to bring an informed, critical thinking view of what's happening in Tobago? When you hear Shamfa Kojo and Joel Jack and them come, them bringing a P&M agenda, right? And they're not bringing a country agenda. You know what somebody tell me today? A very very good person tell me that as a P&M hater.
Oh Lord.
Well, tell me, why is a P&M hater? I can't ask Gary, I ask Tommy, because you only one.
You know what? I wouldn't call you a P&M hater. It's just that PNMites have never had the gall to stand up for what is true. They don't know about speaking truth to power. They just lap up everything that's being fed to them by the leadership. And it's been like that, and it continues to be like that, and it will always be like that until we have a real revolution in the minds in Trinidad and Tobago.
Can you reason with an intoxicated man?
You know something?
Can you really reason with a man drunk and punching rum?
The whole society so well.
Oh, I wouldn't touch
that Balizé juice. That Balizé juice.
In Canada, we had the same damn thing too.
But Gary, they have Balizé juice and they also have passion fruit juice too, eh? Because of that people. Yeah. Because of that people, it had the juice with the P and the juice with the U. You understand? Right? So what we are trying to do here is that we are trying to change people's way of looking at Trinidad and Tobago and stop looking at it from a party's perspective and look at it from a country's perspective.
In an objective manner.
In an objective manner. Right?
I got a new meaning for PNM, for the acronym. You all want to hear it?
Is it
be
clean?
Be careful.
Yeah, it's clean. It's clean.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. People's National Muppets.
You're calling people Muppets, Dad. You see, and when the people come at you with your Bajan self, you just get vexed. How you call people Muppets?
Call Rhoda about that. Actually, if she hear truth tonight this evening here, if she hear it truth, so Rhoda, you hearing that?
But it's my time, according to Watson, it's my time to fling thing at them. They like to fling thing my way, so I flinging something back.
Fling thing, man, fling thing. Albert Montano says, because of two islands, Tobago wants to be like a province in the nation of Trinbago. Ulrich, good night. Ian Pollard, good night as well. Ulrich says, that is the only person who really have Tobago at heart. That man, you know.
Hochoy?
Hochoy Charles, new boy. Rose Celestine, that is knowledge. Bring back Hochoy Charles. Yeah, I just call him and I tell him to come back.
He should be the main consultant in this whole process.
Nah, them the consultant. What you matter?
You know, but the narrative is so clear as to what they want. I don't know what is the big high science that makes it such a long drawn out process.
Hey, listen. For me, it's very simple, you know. Tobago wants their own economic planning and development. They want their own housing.
Access to capital.
Yeah, they want their own education. They want their own tourism, including amenities and levies. However, the current government, I'm saying the current government, the current government scared to give them that. Because if you give them that, right, Tobago come like Trinidad and Tobago. Nobody want to go Trinidad. Everybody want to go Tobago.
Yep.
You know, but the thing is that it's for 44 years, several administrations have had a chance to do the right thing. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's
Tommy, but this Dr. Rowley administration has frustrated and suppressed the people so much that they want to break loose. They fed up.
Yep.
Understand that? The oppression, they are fed up. The whole country.
Gary, it's just different times now. You know? The times are quite different because in this environment, it becomes more difficult to even exist because of the economic hardships that are being felt due to the so-called
COVID. The pandemic, I like how you say that.
The economic hardship because of the mismanagement, disrespect, and arrogance.
Well, that too. But the whole world is feeling it, except that in our case, it is worse because of the fact that how we manage things are totally in left field.
I would say how we mismanage things, not management at all.
Even in left field, it's miss.
So Ian Pollard says, say that again, Hochoy is Tobago. Albert Montano says, answer me your PNM stopping from talking.
Yeah, they hijacked the line.
Linda says, Mr. Charles talking is Tobago itself. We need him in the village again.
Yeah.
We go getting back, you're getting back.
Knowledge, boy. I ain't learned nothing so in history class at all.
Boy, the fellas are walking encyclopedia.
Yeah, boy.
Tell them we're going to buy a satellite phone and send it to the PDP down there.
Here's something I wanted to interject. In 1962, we got independence. There was a lot of opposition from the opposition on it, and we still got it.
Yep.
I just want to get it clear in all your heads, because you would believe that the opposition was in full agreement with the independence. They were against it, and we still got it.
Yeah.
All right.
No, Tobago get one Tobago once. Linda Gibson said, Mr. Charles talking, he's Tobago itself. We need him in the village again. We go get him on. I live in Tobago. Albert Montano says, I live in Tobago 1977 to 78, and I believe what he says. Linda says, I hope this is not...
Go ahead.
Linda said, I hope this is not sabotage. We want to hear more of Mr. Charles. We're going to hear, man. Rose says, I hope not. Ian, what's the phone number? I put the phone number in the chat. Ulrich says, also from Chumakak, I never saw any prime minister, whether in or out of election. Ulrich, what part of Chumakak you from? You from what Chumakak? You must be from that Lavantil up in Sawa. What Chumakak?
Wait. They have a Lavantil in Sawa?
Yeah. They have a Lavantil Road. Yeah, Lavantil Road.
Lavantil Road.
Yeah. Rastafari. Hey, Rastafari. You new here, partner. Where you from? Where you coming from? Rastafari, boy. Hochoy is the only one who can liberate Tobago. Ulrich says he's from Chumakak. I know what part of Chumakak Ulrich from. You know, Ulrich, you gotta send me a picture with you in Chumakak. I could send you a picture with me in the building to show I from Chumakak. You just trying to claim Chumakak now because Hochoy Charles come on the program.
Oh,
bring your boy Fitzgerald on the program. He's from Lavantil too. What is Herberg? I mean, all you have a problem pronouncing names. Excuse me.
Put it up. Let me see.
All right, let's put it up here. This person is also new. Please tell us where you're from. You see it right here? Hold on.
No, you tell you.
Hear it. What's
that? Herbig.
Herbig?
Yeah, Herbig. Yeah.
Herbig. Tell us where you're joining us from. Herbig sounds like a German name, but
yeah.
You know, but I said it before, but I'll say it again. The day that the representative for an area starts living in the area that he represents, it will make all the difference in the world in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yep.
Definitely.
Herbig also asks, okay, hold on. Mark Daniel says, how can we have, let me put this up. Mark Daniel says, how can we have meaningful consultations when the said representative pass you straight on a daily? Herbig says,
oh my God.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yep. Can you ask Mr. Charles if he's speaking about the John Prince document? Yeah, we ask him all them questions, man. If once he's trying to log back in. Mark Daniel says, can a simple man like myself making sugar cake have a one-on-one with the PM or any of his party members? Well, Mark, you could have a one-on-one, but it's going to be you, one, and you, two. You don't one-on-one with yourself. that's the one-on-one you're going to have. Rose says a couple of weeks ago, TV6 had Hochoy Charles Pfizer interview him on the morning edition. Okay, good, absolutely wonderful.
But I want to know where Tommy get the idea that the opposition was supposed to get an independent when Mr. Charles just said that the opposition worked together with the government.
I know what I know. Listen, I'm not a baby.
Oh, here we go.
I've been around. I knew that Dr. Capaldi opposed Dr. Eric Williams on the independence situation in Trinidad and Tobago. I was alive. I know.
All right. I wasn't. I didn't. I don't know.
I wasn't born yet, so I'm not. And if I was, I was in.
We just hear Mr. Hochoy Charles said that they worked together in obtaining that independence. Maybe Dr. Capaldi had his own self-agenda. Dr. Capaldi never really cared to live in Trinidad. He was a guy, they always invited him because he educated. But that was a big mistake on our behalf.
Anyway, I know that to be a fact. If Mr. Charles, I was going to actually pose that question to him.
Well, listen, we go getting back. We go getting back.
If not tonight, another night.
Yeah. I know a few people. It's all right. Don't worry. There's a few people that I know. Albert Montano said, one who speak truth. Ulrich says, PNM haters are the ones that are opening their eyes. Wait up, PNM haters are the one that's opening their eyes. I just can't understand Ulrich sometimes. I don't know what part of 𝗪𝗪𝘁𝘀 Ulrich from.
But that's what he's saying. They call you a hater, and you're the one that opening their eyes. You're bringing the truth to the population.
Hey, Ulrich, good comment, boy. Good comment, Ulrich. It makes sense sometimes.
You know, we truly kind of psychedelic.
You see, Gary. You know, when you say you're from 𝗪𝗪𝘁𝘀, you understand, and you kind of write things. You have to meet people to translate it. You know what I mean? So Gary, thank you so very kindly. I appreciate that. All right, good comment, boy. Good comment.
But then, Anselm, in giving accolades to Ulrich, you are condoning that you're a PNM hater.
No, not condoning that. No, because what the person tell me, the person is a real PNM, right? And they tell me all nationals are PNM hater. So I tell them, I say, in my global business class, okay, let's do this. We gotta go for a quick station ID.
Quick station, I was just about to say, yeah.
Yes, folks, it's in the village with the Jack Triplets and WZYE 95.9 FM. You know, we come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And of course, we had Hochoy Charles with us, and the discussion was going very nice. Tell B-Mobile, no, let me go back to TSTT. DSTT cut off the internet, boy. TSTT said, nah, you can't share that knowledge, Mr. Hochoy Charles. You can't have you sharing that knowledge about Tobago to these people. We have to cut you off, boy. That is what they do to me. But let's go for a quick station ID, and we're going to be right back, folks. It's in the village with the Dark Triplets and WZYE 95.9 FM. We'll be right
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
So you know what we're going to do? We have Mr. Hochoy Charles back with us. So let's bring him right in. We're not going to waste any time, man. Now, Mr. Charles.
Sir.
Let me bring you back in here. The discussion was going so good, right? You used to play cricket?
Yes, I was a pace bowler.
You was a pace bowler, West Indies win today, no? West Indies win today, boy.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, the title is 2-2, right?
Yeah.
Finally, Bravo take 4 wickets, boy.
Mm-hmm.
The boy did. Yeah, man.
Congratulate them.
Yeah, man. Every once in a while, I have to be proud of them, man. I had to sit down here and watch them. But Mr. Charles,
sir,
you were sharing knowledge. You were hitting sixes all over the place, sharing all kind of knowledge. People in the chat say, oh God, Anselm, the Dark Triplets, all that to bring back Mr. Charles, bring him back. They said TSTT cut off the internet. Digicel cut off the internet. B-Mobile cut off the internet.
It came on my screen. What came on my screen is Samsung automatically cut you off because it is overheating your phone. And I said, but I've never seen this in my life.
You serious?
Yeah, that is what came on my screen.
Yeah, boy.
And we cut off.
They got the Chinese to send a bug to your phone.
You see, let me say this to you. I had a media conference today, When that information come out tomorrow, whatever, and it was live on 89.5, trouble in the camp. A senior citizen in Tobago sent a tweet and says, I have been saying that Dr. Rowley is a Tobagonian, and I've been trying to find out why is he treating Tobago like this, why he can't fix the Tobago matter. The lady says, I could not come up with an answer. Until you speak, I thank you so much. You know what I said?
What?
Let me tell you. I never attack anybody. And I gave some more background to it, but I just give you the straight and say, I have never said this in public before, but I'm saying it to you all today because of his behavior yesterday. Dr. Rowley contested the Tobago West seat in Tobago, and he mentioned it in his press thing yesterday, against the candidate of the DAC then was James Ivan Ogis. And he lost the election he went up as PNM, and he lost the election in Tobago West. In a serious point I am making to you, you know. He lost the election in Tobago West to the DAC candidate, James Ivan Ogis. I managed those campaigns. And Dr. Rowley, after he lost, he said that he has never been so hurt in his whole life. That Tobagonians rejected him. This is the point. This part is the point. Tobago rejected him. And I went to Trinidad, and Digo Martin people receive me and make me what I am. And I said to him, he said that up a couple of weeks, you know. The man is spiteful, and I said, you grow up as a big man. You have to learn to forgive. I have never said this in public before. And I also said this. I said at the forum, while me and Mr. London and they were working on this bill, and he became Prime Minister, and trouble started to take him. Before Neil Wilson died, I said all of them. I said this. Dr. Rowley opposed Mr. Robinson on this Tobago thing. Even tell Tobagonians that we're building a duck pond and all kind of foolishness in Tobago. And I said, the same thing come up again. I said again, you hearing?
Yeah, we're hearing you.
All right, that same thing come up again about automatically in 20 seconds. Oh my God. And I said that I am not going to treat him as he treated me.
Well, let's see. Well, let's see what's going on.
They're hijacking the man's phone.
Well, let's see what's going on, right?
They're hijacking the man's phone.
Look what's going on. See that, boy? Yeah. I never ever thought. But let me tell you something. You see what Hochoy Charles saying there?
Let's try and get him and Watson to the next week.
Yeah, let's see what Hochoy Charles talking about there.
Yeah, like right? Information, boy.
Let me tell you the truth, boy. You see that spitefulness what Hochoy talking about? That is real.
Yep.
That is I understand exactly what Hochoy Charles is saying. That spitefulness. I can tell you personally, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago have been very spiteful with me. Very, very spiteful. We lost Hochoy Charles. Very
you see spiteful next yet, boy. You see spiteful.
No, Linda, this is serious sabotage and truth, you know. Anthony Medford, boy. Medford my partner, boy. Medford, where you from, Medford? I think I know Medford, you know, boy. That Medford name sound good, but let's see we bring back Hochoy Charles. Let's see what happens. Right? Ulrich say from block 22. Yeah, Ulrich block 22, boy. What? Ulrich, you have to know me, boy. I was the best athlete in Chumaka Club until wrong with you. You must know Butty. You must know me, don't know me as an Anstem Wall Street, but Butty. Mark Daniel said, look at what it took for me and my family to get through trying times. Definitely not the government. Prasad says, why the media is not? Because they're scared of the PNM. Yeah. Listen. Let's see for yourself, eh? You know, I never thought in my wildest imagination that type of thing will happen, boy. Seriously. And I never thought so, boy. So, you know what that tells us? Boy? We are making a difference. Here he's back again. Let's try to bring him in. Yes, Mr. Charles, you are back with us. We bring you back in. You are back with us. Yeah.
Yes, brother.
Yeah, Goyle was just talking about him, man, because listen, Mr. Charles.
It's gone again.
He's gone again.
Yeah. It's the phone. He needs to cool the phone down. That's what it is. The battery.
Listen,
I've never seen this neither.
Diana, if you inside your house, are you going to pull your phone down?
Yeah, I never seen that neither.
Oh my God! I want to leave it up there because when we put back up the video, we want to show people exactly what happening. Look at it. It's unbelievable. Let's try him here again here. Let's try him here. Yeah, Mr. Charles, you hearing us? Hold on. Hold on.
This thing is real.
This thing is real. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Hold on, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are back with you. We are back with you. You hearing us?
Yes, I'm hearing you. But this thing, as soon as you finish saying that, it says again, Samsung Internet is causing your phone to overheat. You can close it now, or it will be closed automatically in 20 seconds.
So you have to bring him back.
Mr. Charles, you are making a significant difference. He gone again.
Yeah.
The same thing. As soon as he said that.
Yeah. But tell him he'll bring him back again and answer. Because that will go on all night long.
Yeah, boy.
I've never seen that myself. Never seen that.
This is unbelievable, man.
Never seen that.
Mr. Charles shed some serious light on the issue. Linda says, Mark says, I will never believe that this is spitefulness on his part. The PNM is displaying real childishness. Listen, let me tell you something, eh? I'll tell all you, I want people in the chat to when I talk about TD Jakes and I talk about
confidence or comrades, constituents.
There we go. All right. And I and Assembly Born have lost people who I thought was my confidant when they were only my comrades or my constituents. You see, once you are for what they are for, or once they are for what I am for, right? It's okay. But once they are not what you are for, forget about it. Next thing, yeah, Rose, they go target the dark triplets next time. And you are so right.
They go target Anselm, Tommy, and Gary. They better leave me a motley gal alone.
Oh, all right, you think because you is Bajan, you didn't go target you what?
Listen, them people don't afraid. They don't afraid to target anybody. Okay.
Yeah.
They don't afraid to target anybody, and they got their 50 cents hitman that will come after you on a bicycle.
I am covered by. I am covered. They ain't gonna come. They ain't gonna come around.
We don't always raise a good point, you know.
You see my drive by on a bicycle taking place in Trinidad.
Yeah, but
I know.
Yeah, always raise a good point, you know. All right. I go on you now from Chumaka. I go on you from Chumaka now. You know, we have some very bright, intelligent people coming from Chumaka. Ulrich was in block 44. Ulrich said, remember the same thing was happening with the lady from Tobago. You're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely correct. Look, we didn't even pay that no attention. You see, because we don't believe that. We don't believe people just do them kind of spiteful and hateful things, boy. We don't believe that. We just go cast aspersion on people, but we see it with our own eyes tonight.
And they put you in Facebook jail. Somebody make a call.
And they put us in Facebook jail. But you see,
they have employees in Facebook. There's some kind of agreement with regional services with Facebook that somebody's working inside. That they did the same thing to me.
But Gary,
a lot of my accounts on pages were locked up.
Yeah, Gary, Diana, and Tommy, God don't like ugly.
Nope.
All the time.
God don't like ugly. And I tell them, you see, and I want to say to the Prime Minister something, yeah? Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, I want to say something to you, right? And you have to learn to take criticism that can make you a better leader, to make you a truly transformational leader. You know? Ulrich, don't put that out in the air, man. What is that? Ulrich putting all this thing in the air. Ulrich, I'm putting up that post that's probably there. I want to put that out into the universe. You know, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, my mother-in-law told me 33 years ago before I got married, a woman from Mento Alley, Chumakak Lavantel. She said, Anselm, you know, a liar has no memory. Right? I said, but, and I just tell the story all the time. I said, well, my mother-in-law from Mento Alley telling me about a liar has no memory. What's she talking about? As I progress in my marriage, I started to say, well, wait now, boy, you know, that's prophetic. What my mother-in-law told me. So mother-in-law was trying to tell me, if I tell the truth, I don't have to remember anything. Right? It's like Dr. Rowley telling the UNC when they were in power, right? No things all they put up, we will agree with. Nothing all they put up, we will agree with. Nothing. He forget he said that. He absolutely forget. Now he's saying the same thing about the UNC. Right? Think about it. Right? Think about that. But that's okay. That's okay. Life goes on. Life goes on. And I am happy to say this. I am fortunate that when I go to the grocery, I don't go to the grocery with P&M dollars. When I pay my mortgage, I don't pay my mortgage with P&M dollars. Right? When I go to Trader Joe's, I like to shop at Trader Joe's or Whole Foods. Even though I just call Whole Foods whole paycheck because it's very expensive. Right?
Lately.
Yeah. So I don't call them Whole Foods, it's whole paycheck. And when you go in there to spend your whole paycheck, right? Right? I am fortunate, very fortunate, right? But a lot of the people from the Go Along Get Along P&M gang, they are upset with me when I try to fight for the disadvantaged people of my community of Chumaka Clavantil. They don't want me to fight for them because they're not fighting for them, right? Once they get the CPEP contract and they get the URP contract and they get the HDC houses and their pocket full, they're good to go. That's it. But not me. No, I'm not like that. You understand? Right? Alex says the same man you took to ring the bell on Wall Street.
You rubbing it in your face. Oh dear.
Yeah,
listen, we open to giving anybody a chance, right? We gave the man a chance. We support him to the best of our ability. And this is what he did. Right?
You know, Linda, right? Hold up. Linda preached there, but Linda say, McDonald said TTT is real tears, TT is real tears. Whole month internet working like crap. Expect full payment at month end with shoddy service. Linda, this is Linda MG. Linda MG say, they're trying, but they can't stop the village. This is about educating our people. They're evil and wicked.
You gotta send an invite to Linda, you know. You gotta send an
invite to Linda. Yeah, we gotta get Linda. Linda, full 100, yes? Full 100.
Tell her to put her closing comments in.
Yeah, Linda, put your closing comments in one time. Full 100, the wicked and evil. This regime under Dr. Rowley, this Dr. Rowley-led regime is wicked and evil. And let me go to the next one real quick. Let me go to the next one. Gary, your friend, let me tell you all the wicked and evil, right? You know, I tell you, your good friend used to work in the consulate up here.
Miss Beckles.
No. She used to work in the UN. The other one. The one from, she used to represent Mobile Lavantil East.
What's that?
Gary.
Cox? No, not Cox.
I see. Diana. Tony and Gary. A fish doesn't rotten from the tail. How much time do I say that?
From the head.
A fish does not rotten from the tail. When your leader calling people leeches, calling them imps, and telling people want to get she cat and all this kind of thing. Right? Then, you know what Donna Cox telling people they're greedy? And people want to defend that. We want to defend that she calling people suffering and starving, Donna Cox. And you calling people greedy? Or they're wicked and evil. And a fish doesn't rotten from the tail. So when you listen to your leader calling people all kind of them leeches and all kind of them, or you're getting emboldened to do the same thing.
Yep. Trickles downward.
We had done a fallout because of what was happening with the stranded citizens and how the Prime Minister was being very harsh towards the people, you know. And I said, Donna, the guy is acting like a hooligan. She said, "Oh, you could call him that." I said, "Well, he is. You know, you can't be mistreating my people like that. you're the leader of the country. We're reaching out to you and telling you what's happening to our people, and you being so arrogant and threatening them and all those kind of things, you know.
But Ulrich, let me say this, Ulrich, you see what has to happen, eh? You have to go through a process, right? And I have gone through the process with the PNM. There's no one in this country of the United States of America has supported the PNM like I have supported the PNM. None. And I'm releasing pictures weekly now of all the things I did for Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, because I want the PNM people to understand this, right? You see, all this the wicked and evil. What?
But you did it for country and people. You went out your way for country and people.
But Gary, here what them does want, eh? They want people like me to just do things to the PNM, do things to the PNM. When they're in opposition, and when the PNM gets in power, the 1% get everything. But I don't deserve to get nothing.
We can't stop.
We
can't support that. They're mistreating our people.
Yeah, they're mistreating our people. No, so I'm supposed to sit idly by and take nothing from them after all the hard work I put in, right? Nah. If I put money in the bank, I want some interest on my money. Eh? When the people in Chumaka put their vote in the PNM, they want a little interest in their vote. And the PNM continue to be evil and wicked with them. And I supposed to sit back idly and not say anything? Nah. No. Them days done. Right? And until the people in the PNM decide to stand up and stop taking that thing and stop being part of the go along, get along PNM gang, right? Well, some of them ain't gonna say nothing. Sharon Felix ain't saying nothing because she good. Sharon Felix getting all what she wants, so she ain't saying nothing.
Well, they give you all something and they quiet you, know.
But I was telling you, she ain't saying nothing. She's one of them saying nothing.
Yeah.
But the rest of them,
more things, so I ain't saying nothing yet.
Yeah, nah. Once they get a CPF contract or the URP contract, you understand, and they get a HGC or something, they quiet and they
good. And quiet you down and thing.
Yeah. Rose Celestine say Underworld. People know her under wicked secrets. Yeah.
But you know, we are sending a clear message that we are here for all our people.
All our people. Listen, it's not everything I believe the PNM do is bad, you know. Me personally, I don't believe that, you know. Right? But lately, many of the things they are doing is to disadvantage poor people in Trinidad and Tobago. And I know what it is to be poor. I grew up in Chumaka Claventon. I know what it is to be poor.
Let me tell you
I know what that is. And it's worse today. It's worse.
You know, I am inviting anyone who could take a video of the area that they're living in and show us the condition of their street, the drains, you know, anything that you can tell us about. Show us what's going on in your community.
Well, we have Anthony Medford. Anthony Medford, where you from? Anthony Medford say, never saw this program before. You guys making sense. You have another subscriber. Thank you very kindly, Anthony. Right? And we in here, when we came in here, right? We had them, certain people from the Go Along, Get Along PNM gang, right? Talking about, hey, all you only have this amount of subscribers, only among this amount of viewers. What? We're not interested in having a big number of the. You'll never hear us come into the village and tell people, hey, let's share it live. We want to get up to 200. We want to get up to 200, right? What you said, you have 200 people, right?
And they learn. They're learning nothing. But you notice how your subscriber list has grown. The subscriber list has grown considerably.
Well, so you out on Facebook, but this I have posted this message tonight on every Facebook group possible. West Indian, Toronto, you name it. Game of Politics, Rum Shop, every group I could find. Neighborhood Watch have 5,000 people in it alone.
Mm-hmm. Tell them to go to YouTube and subscribe.
Yeah, everybody go to YouTube and subscribe. All of that pay for nothing. Linda, is that your closing comments? Linda said, thank God for the dark triplets and the work they have done to expose our people to knowledge. They don't like it. Shame on them. The village is all about exposing the truth. Thank you, Mr. Indarsingh. It's about truth.
Yep.
Linda just said, reach now and get back internet connection. Every time rain falling, internet down.
Internet down.
Oh,
God
God.
bless, boy.
What did you say? Rain falling.
Rain falling. Yeah. We don't say rain in America. Alright, say, tell them how much miles we used to walk for water. Alright, boy, no joke. I tell them, I used to walk miles for water. You know, Lana said what she missed. You missed Hochoy Charles, girl. Lana said, Mr. Charles, Linda says, Mr. Charles, we thank you for all you have shared with us. We will have you back. Yes, we will have them back, and we bring in all kind of people. Only listen,
All kind.
Next week Thursday, I line it out now. Harvey Boris, that might be the first PNM fella to come on the program.
Woo!
Harvey's a good one, man. He's a good one.
Yeah, Harvey Boris confirmed that he coming on the program.
What did I tell you, Aunt Slim? Eventually, they're all going to creep and they want to come and put their voice in this diaspora program. I told you so. And I see, when you'll see it, especially around election time, you're going to see it. I predict it.
Yeah, but I want to reiterate the invite to the people in the country, not so much the politicians. Given the
the people. Yes.
I want to reiterate this invite to the people, let them know we are here for them and to give them a chance to voice what they have to say.
Hey, Anthony Medford, where you from, man? You ain't telling me where you're from. Citizens, Anthony Medford says citizens want to be impressed with their leaders, with our leaders, and we are not. It's true. It's true. We want our leaders to be exemplars. We want them to be examples for people to follow. That's what we want. We want leaders, when you stand up there, people can say, yes, boy, yes, I feel good about my leader, right? That's what we want. We don't need a leader coming and you're buffing people all the time. You understand? You're calling people all kind of names. And when your MP call people names, like they're calling people all kind of names too. Like, let me go back to Donna Cox, greedy. Donna Cox, you are an MP, Donna Cox. Even if they're greedy, Donna Cox, find the right words to use.
Answer, your child come crying and say they're hungry and you hit them a slap until them go sit down and stay quiet.
Mark Daniel, Mark Daniel says send a request for answer, Dennis. I sent that long time. I know you must throw that in the disposable files. I don't know if you can throw disposable files on the internet, but I invite him long time. He ain't come. I invite him. I invite plenty of them. Them don't come. Them don't come with. Them won't come into the village. Right now, it is not beneficial for them to come into the village. There's no benefits to them to come into the village. None. Right?
Nobody wants to get on the wrong side of the boss.
No.
On
the wrong side of the vindictive boss.
Yeah, the puppet master. Nobody wants to get on the wrong side of the puppet master.
Only Gary will tell him, if you're his man, call me.
Ooh.
Ask everybody in the group. I get vexed with them.
Did he call you, Gary?
What's that?
Did he call you?
No. I said it several times. I get vexed with the nonsense they're doing. I said, anybody who disagree with what I say in here today, and there's man, call me. There's the number. Call me.
I invite the man to come into the village, man.
Yeah, we had to invite Fitzgerald Hines.
I invite Fitzgerald Hines. What's wrong with you?
Hey, Fitzy, long time I ain't see you.
Remember, speaking of Fitzgerald Hines, you always see how they mistreated my brother, right? My brother stood up with us, and there's more mistreatment for him,
Gary, they're banishing him from meeting and all kind of thing. Yeah.
Only for 2 up, you ain't getting to say nothing.
Yeah, it's true, Yeah, the puppet master have him frightened, and it's true.
It's true. Where you see the puppet master, when you go puppet master, he living on Lexo Road, with Narayan and Santana and all of them. You understand? And
you have to invite Narayan and Santana.
Yeah. Hey, you never see them Lexo TV? Hey, Donna?
Who?
You ever see Lexo TV?
Lexo TV,
Where's
yeah.
Lexo? I ain't as old as all in.
No, go into Google and just put in Lexo TV. Right? You will see Santana and Narayan and all of them. Right?
Okay.
What's that puppets?
Oh, yeah. I know them. Yes.
Yeah. You see puppets when you pulling strings, you know? And we have Pastor Stuart.
I know it is.
Listen, going back to Heinz, he ain't young enough.
Hey, watch yourself. What you talking about Fitzy like that for?
No, you get your joke. You're not young enough. Young.
I know. I get it joke.
Rose, this is not a village anymore, but rather a city.
Yeah.
That's a great point in the Rose. That's true. So. Man, Daniel says, answer might run like Heinz. No, I don't think. All I remember when Heinz went to the Beatum Olympics. All remember that?
Oh yeah,
Don't mess with my brother then, man.
But the man went to the Beatum Olympics, man.
And
man faster than Otto Bolden, boy.
Leave Fitzy alone.
The man was doing that 2-meter dash, boy.
Man, brother Heinz is the most respectful man in EPNM as far as I'm concerned right now.
What videos you have to share with us tonight, Aunt Clem?
Okay, all right, hold on.
Picking on Fitzy all night long. Leave Fitzy alone.
I'll leave Fitzy alone. Hold on. All right, let me share this one. Hold on. Let me share this one. Hold on.
Why is my class so noisy? Hands up, out, down. Children, today we will be speaking about the oil fields. Where does oil come from? It comes from below the ground. So I want you all each to draw me something pertaining to the oil fields. Okay, Mukesh, let me see what you draw today. Is that an oil rig? Very, very good. Well done. It shows where the oil comes from. You're drilling the oil. Very, very good, very good. Primati, let me see. What is this?
This is a man, and he have on a helmet, and he drilling for oil.
Very, very good. You're so artistic. Very nice. Yay. Johnny boy, what did you draw? Oh, is that a banana?
No, miss, that's not a banana. That is amoko.
Oh, God.
Yeah, the guy will laugh, you know. Hey, and this is the last one we go play. Let me listen to the private.
No, I come now to the question of the 66.
Gary, go ahead.
Yeah, I said they want the police commissioner on his closing statements about this final term. You should take a look at that while you're playing the Prime Minister.
Okay, all right. Let me look at that one real quick. All right.
I come now to the question of the 6 in Tobago. I had met with the elected 12 people in Tobago in January, and I told them about this day when this committee will report to the Parliament and will make recommendations, one of which is to have 15 seats in the Assembly to be elected by the population in Tobago. And I told them then, if we get to that point, if they didn't before find a mechanism to work together in Tobago, some people call it sharing power, if you didn't find a mechanism, by the time we get to this point, there's going to be a mechanism. But of course, it's now in committee. And the question is, whether goes Tobago. In the current arrangement, I've heard it said that the PNM is holding out the power in Tobago, and they want to bully Tobago and rule Tobago without accountability. Nothing is further from the truth. So this bill now being in committee, we will take every action that is required to get Tobago to the polls so that the Tobago people can elect an executive, and that executive, whoever that might be, would be in a position to speak for Tobago in a way that is not clear now. Because the people who are speaking for Tobago now, according to the opposition, are not really authorized to speak for Tobago in that way. The elected representatives in Tobago are not the names called here in the parliament. Apparently, to get your name called here by the opposition, you have to be a PNM hater or a PNM transmitter of some kind, or known to be anti-PNM. Right? So that is not what we are about. Right? So let us, leave here knowing that we will not leave Tobago in limbo where the incumbents remain, because as of now, if Tobagoans don't go to the polls, what is going on then is going to continue. And we don't want that to continue more than anybody else. As a matter of fact, from day one, we were of the view that the solution has to be in going back to the polls. So that's where we are at.
Like the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Linda says they will not come in the village because they will not be allowed to buff people the way they've been buffing reporters.
Got that right.
Yep. Steve Chidi Lopez says the real cockroaches is the government. And the government right now trying to eat out all the money from the treasury. Fitzgerald Hines has a muzzle on him. Not been heard.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. Or Rick say, it's true to know. I'm to Fitzgerald. I feel Fitzgerald went to the dentist, he pulled out a molar, boy.
Hey, leave Fitzy alone. Why you be so hard on Fitzy?
No, but honestly, I like Fitzgerald Hines.
Leave him alone.
I give him all kind of compliments as the new Minister of National Security. Or say one call me monkey and the other one calling me cockroaches. Gary, we will play that video next time.
Yes, Gary.
Yeah. Lana says, don't get Tobago to the polls. Give Tobago self-governance. Yeah, 4 more years praying someone new gets to run the country better than the previous government. Yeah. You had to deal with that for 4 more years. I just had to deal. Hey, Linda, put your closing comments in the comment box. You go close the program. But folks, we want to say this, we want to say to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, we want you to continue to keep the faith, right? And I know times are very trying in Trinidad and Tobago, all right? And we want to hear a more compassionate government. We don't want to hear our government telling the people that they're greedy. We're not interested in that, even if they are greedy, right? Use 𝗪𝗪𝘁𝘀𝗽𝗽 as an example, right? Use as an example of the way you treat with your citizens. Your citizens are facing difficulties. They can't get food on the table. Today was the SEA. A mother was crying out for transportation for a kid to go take the SEA. Poor people suffering.
You think the government would have the decency to do that? You think the government would have the decency to provide the transportation?
No, the citizens could provide it. We don't want to hear that the government calling people names. We don't want to hear, even though you feel that people greedy and people double dipping, don't call them greedy. You guys are the example. You guys are supposed to be leaders. We elect you guys to run the country. People fed up. As explainer said, they're fed up of the same thing over and over. A fish does not rotten from the tail. There's too much, too much. Only dial it down a little bit now, man. Just a little bit. Right? Just a little bit. Then of course you gotta tell people they're greedy. If you know that, even if you know they're greedy, even if you know they're double dipping, even if you know they're getting two, you know why they're getting two? Of course in Trinidad it's called W2, but don't you don't have to say that to them.
Answer.
Don't.
You remember that? Remember a young lady from Arima who reached out to you for some help for, right?
Yeah.
Up to now, Donna Cox can't respond to the lady. Okay. Well, we got to talk off the air what's going on with this young lady. But I'm just telling you, up to now, Donna Cox can't respond to she.
Yeah, boy. But folks, we gotta continue the faith. Yeah, because I mean, Lana, right? Lana said people double dipping and getting through. It's because they're allowing them to double dip and get through. Well, I don't think all of them, but some of them. You understand? But you know, in tough times, if you allow you to double dip, you go double dip. You know, but folks, I will tell you guys this, subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, and tell a friend to tell a friend. Because Facebook put me in Facebook jail. Tommy, what they say about mango trees? They don't pelt stone at what?
School children don't pelt stone at mango tree with the half fruit.
Okay, good. Good. So we have plenty food, right? We have plenty food, right. But folks, I want to thank again the representative for Couva South, you know, Rudranath Indarsingh. We want to thank Hochoy Charles, Mr. Hochoy Charles, for coming on into the village. And folks, we're going to continue to bring these type of people in the village. Okay, we're going to continue. And if you guys would like us to get anybody here in the village, make suggestions. You see, we are a program with a difference, right? We want you to be part of this program, right? We are interested in what you have to say and what you have to hear. And as I say all the time, we might not always agree, but don't just think about, oh, before I go, let me tell, I wanted to say this. So my partner will tell me he's a P&M hater. I tell him, I give my class, my global business class, we do a little kind of project at the beginning of the class. I put the 9 times tables on the board and I go 9 times 1 is 9. And when I get to 9 times 10, I put 9 times 10 is 91, right? And I could see the students wanting to raise their hand. They itching because they say, boy, what's wrong with this professor? 9 times 10 is 91. Something got to be wrong with him. He's a madman. What kind of professor we are here in this class? 9 times 10 is 91. So finally, some brave students in the class put up the finger. Professor LeBon, 9 times 10 is 90. I said, what? And then other people in the class say, yeah, 9 times 10. I say, you know, that is a little thought experiment. Think about it this way, right? 90% of the problem is correct, right? But most people only look at the 1%. And that is go to the P&M haters. All the time that I've been defending the P&M, all the work I put into the vineyard for the P&M, all that don't mean nothing. That don't mean one thing. As soon as you start to defend exile and stranded citizens, you're persona non grata, right? Because they are no longer for what you are for, right? So they have to be like that. They have to become a P&M hater all of a sudden. So folks, that is it for me. But Albert Montano, July 4th, are we on July 4th? You know, you guys, you know July 4th will be 40, how much years is that, boy? 77 and 3 is 80. 20. July 4th will be 44 years that I've been in this country. 44 years. July 4th. Yeah, we on, unless the storm or the phantom or Tommy and them or something else going on July 4th. You know, we'll be on, you know. So,
I am working.
Yeah, Mark Daniel says, Triplets, I want to thank you all for this program. If it wasn't for you guys, I would not have gotten certain information. I don't even have a TV. Laugh out loud. Ulrich said, don't pelts. Ulrich, oh God, Ulrich. Ulrich said, don't pelts stone at green mangoes. Ulrich, in Laventille, we pelts stone at green mango when we hungry. Wrong with you to make mango chow? Wrong with Ulrich?
That me here from Laventille.
Alright, you know, I better take back my Chumaka thing, you know, from here, you know. No much green mango I pelt to go and make mango chow to get a little lunch. I don't think Tommy and Gary pelt any mango, but you know.
Well, we curry green mango. I mean, we just curry green mango.
I get chow with half right mango.
You pelt green mango, Tommy?
What?
Okay.
I know country.
I climbed the mango tree.
Yeah, me. I climbed the mango tree and one maribon hit me in the middle of the forehead and turned me into a Chinese man.
Let me give you a story. Burroughs used to live in the back of St. Augustine there, right? Behind Hilo. Man, one day he caught me in his mango tree. Yeah. I thought he wasn't home. He's a short fella, you know. This is young lady.
Yeah. You know, Oregas make sense sometimes. Oregas don't make sense and then make sense.
He said no.
He said that's why the pelting stones at you. I like Oregas too bad. Linda says I want to say thanks again to Mr. Hochoy Charles. To Mr. Hochoy Charles for his knowledge and info. We have to bring him back in the village. Sabotage is not he will be back. Good night, folks. Linda, you're supposed to put your closing comments, man. That was your closing comments? Lana says, don't give Mr. Lovechild trouble now. Don't quarrel with him. You see, Tommy, boy? But you always defending me.
Why everybody always defending me?
I don't understand this thing, you know. Somebody always defending me, Tommy, boy. What is this, boy?
At least somebody know my heart.
Yeah, what kind of armor you wearing, Tommy? You have on P&M armor.
Everybody feeling sorry for this outside child. He's getting more trouble, you know.
Yeah, I don't understand why they're defending you so, Tommy. But anyway, folks, of course, it's always a pleasure. We even play no song tonight, boy.
When you going out?
It's fire in the village. Fire in the village.
Boy, we are, you know, I ain't lying there, folks. And listen, and when we get back on Facebook, right? And it don't look like if we in Facebook jail, though, you know. Right? It don't look so, right? But we in Facebook jail.
Well, I recirculating on Facebook.
You know, it's funny that we in Facebook jail and we making joke that we in Facebook jail. Oh God!
We gotta file a discrimination suit, you know.
It don't phase you, man. Yeah, and listen, we gotta figure out what happened with that fella Ford, you know. We gotta figure out what happened with Mark Daniel, good night. Rose, good night. Steve Trini Lopez, happy July 4th to you as well. Rose says, not city, not village. Yeah. But we like the village, man. We like people to come in the village. All right, so folks, we're gonna close the program now. Tommy, any closing words?
Most definitely. This one is for our leaders. Use your voice for kindness, your ears for compassion, your hands for charity, your mind for truth, and your heart for love. People, this one's by Maya Angelou. People will forget what you said. They will also forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. Pleasant good night. Pleasant good night to all of our fans and friends, and especially my brothers and my sister here in the village. Pleasant week until we meet again on this Saturday. It don't matter that it's 4th of July. I'll be in the village.
Yeah, I will be in the village too. Absolutely.
There'll be fireworks in the village on Saturday.
No doubt. Love to all.
So here's the quote that I have tonight is, good business leaders create a vision, articulate the vision, passionately own the vision, and relentlessly drive it to completion. From where I sit, this is it. The clock on the wall said us all. I like to stay, but I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent when talent does not work on. And for every 60 seconds of anger, I lose 1 minute of happiness. Or Rick say it does take too long to pick up between I talk to Tommy. But I talk to Tommy. Yeah, because I cannot slow. What's wrong with you? I slow just like you from Chumakak too, right? Both are we slow. Go ahead, Gary.
Yeah, so anyway, it was a pleasure being able to communicate with both Mr. Indarsingh and Mr. Hochoy Charles, finally. You know, I mean, what a scholar, you know, I mean, we really need Mr. Hochoy Charles involved in the decision making for Tobago. I think he should be chief in charge of consultation there. I also want to reiterate our invite to the population of Trinidad and Tobago to, you have something to say, something that's going on with you, feel free to reach out to us, reach out to Ansem, you know, and we are interested in being your voice. This is a program, and this is a revolution for people. It's not for any particular political party. We are here for our people, to uplift our people. We have a repatriation flight going down on the 3rd from New York, and was able to get some more people on board there. We have one announced for Toronto on July 6th, and we also was able to get a repatriation flight for the students who were left behind in Barbados for July 13th. So if you know anyone of the students who needs to get on this flight, this is the flight designated for students only in Barbados. You can contact me directly, 201-932-6161. With that, I will say good night.
And hold up, let me just read a few comments before you go down. It says, good night, folks. I always in the village till, Lana says, I always in the village till Flo take me off the village. Hey, Tommy, Lana says, nice one, Mr. Love Child, deep verse. Medford says, later, guys, see you soon. Yeah, Medford, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Diana, you from St. Augustine? Albert Montano says, Diana, you from St. Augustine? Nah, Diana from Tanapuna.
No, I'm from St. Augustine.
You change your mind?
I'm born in Tunapuna, but I've lived in St. Augustine.
So which one you from?
Hello, what's it? Where I from have to do with Albert Montano.
Okay, all right. Lana says we in Facebook jail because they don't want the world to know what's going on in Trinidad and Tobago. I want to shut everybody like they shut up the reporters. All right, hold on. Let me read one more. Rose says good night to everyone. Mark Daniel. All right, hold on. I think one more comment here. Mark Daniel says nice one, Ulrich. And Ulrich will close the program, I guess, because I think Linda went a little early. All right. Okay, then.
Okay, I usually listen to everyone, and I compile a little editorial. And I came up tonight with compromise for an amicable solution. From time to time, we all get caught in this trap where we're so anxious to prove our own point that we completely ignore and don't acknowledge the valid points that others may have. The basis of a relationship should involve helping each other solve a current problem. Factors in cementing a relationship are mutual respect and listening to each other. Mutual respect and listening requires a favorable attitude toward and constructive interaction with the persons with whom one disagrees. Mutual respect and listening are plainly desirable ingredients in democratic politics, virtues that make debate more civil and relations more collegial. In Tobago's quest for autonomy, that trust, mutual respect, and listening results in compromise. All these things are required now more than ever. The window of compromise rarely opens to politicians who always assume the worst about the motives of their adversaries. Trust is more likely to be generated not in one-time negotiations, but over time as politicians who oppose one another on some issues find ways to work together on others. Visible acrimonious mistrust and spitefulness can degenerate into a spiral of suspicion that can trickle down to the populace, the voters, your employees, your employers. Members of Parliament, it is okay to agree to disagree. The democratic process does not always or even usually yield agreement, let alone general consensus. But dealing with the disagreement that is endemic to democratic policies in a respectful way is essential to reaching desirable compromises, whether now or in the future. But to attain desirable compromise, politicians must find ways to reach agreements with their opponents, including members of their own ideologically diverse party. This process may often sometimes result in tension. In a state of compromise, tensions may be eased, allowing political leaders to craft policies that could make better laws for all. You can't change your co-workers, your fellow MPs' point of view, but instead of negative, piercing, and destructive words filled with conflict, sarcasm, and caustic remarks, each intending to pay the other back in full for past transgressions, why not use positive, uplifting, and encouraging words? Practice acceptance. Treat your co-workers, the other MPs, as equals. Develop a we're all in this together mentality. Your point of view is valid, but others, including the voting populace, may have equally valid opinions and ideas too. Perhaps a bipartisan approach may be the way forward progressively to resolve all matters that cause a political loggerhead. Remember, you are servants of the people to do right by the people and act in the best interest for the people of the Twin Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. MPs, put aside your differences and aspire together to achieve a more progressive, economically viable country for all citizens. This is your resident poet, Diana Benskin, bidding you auf Wiedersehen until we meet again. Good night, everyone.
And there you have it, folks. Our one and only renowned poet, motivational speaker, Waveney Diana Benskin. And we're going to go out tonight with Explainer, boy. Explainer, come and tell them about the government. The government. We're going to get out the Explainer tonight. Folks, we want to thank everyone for tuning into In the Village with the Dark Triplets. Again, we want to thank the MP for Couva South, Rudranath Indarsingh, and we want to thank also, Icon in Tobago there, Mr. Hochoy Charles. We thank you all very kindly, and we want to see you guys, same WZYE time, same WZYE channel. And we're going to go out with the Explainer. Here we go.
We must work being complacent. Oh yeah. Let's get serious, stop making joke. Country hard and the government bad. What we must remember, we the government of Trinidad. We vote them in power, that is true. They got to do what we want them to. Don't allow complacency to make any party dictate for the country. Every country gets a government they deserve. It's we elect them to serve. That's why we must be concerned. Every country gets a government they deserve. For more improvement, bigger achievements, work with government, stop being complacent. Judy.
This is Peruvian.
Let us get serious now about national affairs. Cause it's we the masses facing all the blood, sweat and tears. Let us get serious with Parliament. Check on how our money is spent. Don't just sit without a murmur and create a monster ready to devour. Every country gets a government edition. It's we elect them to serve. That's why we must be concerned. Every country gets a government edition. For more improvement, bigger achievements, work with government, stop being complacent. Truly. We're going through crucial times, as we all could see. The entire nation should live with more unity. It's not what the country could do for me. It's what I could do for my country. Don't listen criticizing. I'm not realizing that the country diving. Every country gets a government edition. It's we elect them to serve. That's why we got to observe. Every country gets a government edition. For stability.